Peace to the family. Absolutely excited about y'all coming through tonight. What is poly life, including sex, money, family, all about? This one is going to be bananas, in my opinion. That's how I feel. So, if this is a topic that interests you, please, 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 whatever you do, make sure you send this out to as many folks and share it. Sharing is caring, right? Okay. So I'm inviting a couple folks. This sister did an amazing job on talking about her own personal experiences. That's the type of folks I deal with. Folks who talk from their own experiences, right? So when I see people talking from their own experiences, they get my attention. And so that's kind of like where I'm at today. The sister was dropping it like it was hot. And I was just like, oh man, this topic is fire. And then I even sent it to some folks, another joint, and got some feedback. What's up, young brother? First Nation knowledge. Peace to the family. Come on. Oh. Say something. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Finally. So y'all, I'm gonna just start off like this. I normally do not like people bullying me and pushing me around and making me do things. Normally when I already have something set up, kind of people like flow with it or they don't. I had this thing set up for YouTube, 2 YouTube channels, Facebook and Instagram. But this sister right here bullied me to where she only wants it on Instagram. Okay.
I don't know Instagram like that.
Even though she has a YouTube channel and she sells t-shirts, she's just wonderful, she's wise, she's fine, she's sexy, but she's a bully. But she's a bully. What? You're not fine? Hold on. You're not fine.
Can we start the show? It's not about me.
Yes, it is, because you the guest. It is about you, because you got the wisdom. You got something to share with my folks, okay?
I do.
So it is. It is about you. All of these qualities that you got you to where you at now. Don't be apologizing. You ain't even got to apologize for being a bully. It's okay. I can get pushed around sometimes. I don't mind, because we here now. We here now. And you got your IG all set up. Y'all know I'm just playing. This sister right here, she's just too gentle. I know she probably don't have a bully bone in her body. I ain't even worried about that. Y'all know I don't go for that. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. My name is Oye's son, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. Sister, you have to introduce yourself over here on my channel. Let people know what your team zodiac is and what city and state you represent.
I want to say peace and good night to everyone. My name is Atara. I go by Born Crown because Atara means crown in Hebrew. So I just gave myself that nickname. I was born August 24th. I really don't study the signs like that, but I know I am Virgo. What?
So some of my favorite people, 2 of my favorite people like in the world who I love, 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 my teacher, Dr. Gibson, and my Aunt Maggie, and then the brother who wrote The Alchemist. All 3 of them, their birthday is August 24th. But most people who born August 24th, so I'm also your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. So that's kind of my bag. So we're gonna Oh yes. That's some fire. Look, now you got somebody, he trying to be like, well, I'm on the 25th, brother. We had your live the other day. Can the sister have her shine right now? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. My North Node is Virgo. So you got a lot of my people who are on my channel. For one, they're very intelligent. Two, they study astrology. They believe in, you know, psychic abilities, quite spiritual. All of us are sorcerers. We get down, right? Um, so we just bringing you into the family because you have a particular skill set and information to share that I don't have, you know, immediately. And the whole thing came from when you were washing your hair and you were doing this particular video right here, y'all.
And my past experiences with polygyny.
Okay, hold on, because I'm gonna be pausing this.
I am in the mood to talk to you guys about the P word.
The P word. You hear what she said, y'all? The P word.
Yeah, not that word.
But it's okay if she was. Polygyny.
Yes, I am in the mood to talk about polygyny.
Okay, we're gonna pause right there. We're gonna pause right there. We're gonna pause right there. Trust me, y'all, we've been trying to get on the line since like 7:30. We've been trying to get on here for an hour.
Forever.
So, Atara.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna get into my background yet. I just want to know, we'll just get straight to the point. It's very popular, the words out here, polygamy, polyamory.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hear, and it's polyandry sometimes, but you never ever hear polygyny. The first time I even heard the word polygyny, I was on the Co-Wives channel on YouTube. Were you on that channel?
I wasn't. I was asked to be on that channel, but at that time, I didn't want to.
Okay, no problem.
I started doing YouTube videos about 7 years ago on polygyny.
What's the other channel then? I need the channel where those videos are, because this channel that I'm on now only got one video on polygyny.
So I believe that channel, I don't remember it, but I will. Gosh.
It's okay. When you remember it, send it to me. I'll take it from there.
I will.
So what makes you think, I'm sort of devil's advocate sometimes, what makes you think you know the difference between polygyny and polygamy?
What made me think? I mean,
absolutely.
Okay, so the difference between polygyny and polygamy is that polygyny, that is a practice where the male has multiple wives and the woman is married to that one male. Polygamy is when the woman is married to multiple men and vice versa. So that is the difference between the two.
Oh, so polygamy can go either way. The woman could have 2-3 husbands, and the man could have 2-3 wives. Correct. That's polygamy.
That's correct.
But polygyny is only the man having multiple wives and the woman only being married to that one husband.
Correct.
And what about if the woman just has multiple husbands, but the man can only be married to that one woman?
That may be polygamy. I'm not too sure. I didn't study that much. My focus is on polygyny because that is the culture that I practice. So.
Okay. How long? And all of these questions, you can just determine whether you want to answer or say pass and go to the next one. So when did you, were you ever a participant in polygyny? And for how long?
Okay, I'm gonna take it back. I don't mind sharing my age. I'm 43 years old, so I was raised in a polygynous household. My father, he had 4 wives. So growing up, that was my culture. Marriage was introduced to me as a polygynous marriage. So that's all I kind of know. Not to say that I'm not comfortable with my husband just being married to me, but it's comfortable for me to just see a man with 2 wives. It's not anything outside of the norm for me. That is a norm for me. When I became married, I came into a marriage where my ex-husband had a wife for 13 years already. And I came in and we had a tenure of 8 years together. So been in polygynous marriage for 8 years.
And so that means he was with her for 21 years.
No, he was with her for 13 years, and then I came in and added another 8 years altogether.
Right, but was she still there those whole 8?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 21 for her. 13 plus 8, that's 21 for her. Did any other wives come in on your 8-year tenure?
No.
Okay. This is so wonderful to me because in Atlanta, I'm sure you know that the whole poly scene is everywhere. In my mind, in my opinion, it's a mess. It's a hot mess because, I mean, hot, like temperature fever, like 107, like about to pass out mess. And it's very rare, if ever, you get to hear from someone speaking and say, yo, I live this because I grew up like this. You hear a lot of people coming to it and they're like, oh, I kind of like want to do this. I kind of like want to do this. So my particular background of how I was introduced to astrology before I was introduced to the poly scene. And so when I came into the first community, which is, of course, they're famous, Juju Mama, Progressive Love. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. I used to see these chats just going crazy, and I would just be like, yo, when's your birthday? And I would just go back and pull the birthday up and just watch as they would talk about all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some honest, some not so honest. And I started to see patterns. And then I would flip back over here and go to my teacher and be like, hey, in relationships, whoop, wop, whoop, wop, whoop, wop. And it was like, oh, for relationships, you look at the planet Venus, right? So 2 things in life you can't change: your blood type and your birthday. You can get a new social security number. You can get new hair. You can get new teeth, eye color, new kidney, but you can't change your blood type or your birthday. And so as I started to just pull all this data, I started seeing that everyone was playing out what their astrological Venus was, not their sun, because that's a hot mess too. The astrological community is a hotter mess. So as hot as you think the poly scene is, the astrology scene is hotter, right? But I was just like, well, what makes sense? And I started like creating categories and saying, hey, you can fit, this is suited for you and this isn't suited for you. But what I started noticing was people wanted these things for their own personal reasons, including mono, not just poly, but mono. Like I want to be in a what is it? What's the mono relationship called? Monogamy. I want to be monogamous because I want to own you and put you in the headlock. I don't want nobody else to look at you and touch you. And I was like, hey, that don't even fit you. You really could do more than one partner easily. No, no, no. And then they was having hassles in their monogamous relationship. And I just was like, okay, then I ain't going to, because you know so much, go ahead. Then you see people in their poly situation and they'll be more, or this is the favorite. One partner is got a astrological chart that's suited for poly. The other one doesn't. And they try to convince this person. I say, bruh or sis, that's just like trying to change their birthday. I say, y'all should just get a divorce. So some people call me the divorce astrologer because I'd be like, if that's what you want to try to do, you can't change someone. You should just go ahead and find and match up with what can work for you and make life much easier. Because, you know, you holding up somebody else's happiness by making this person have a living hell. So, and then I just was like, oh, because in my chart and when I'm honest with my soul, I'm like, word. Then I started doing more research and I was just like, oh, this is natural. I was like, this other way is really not natural. This is really a new thing. And then I don't know, some kind of way I started following you. Then I saw your video. I saw the co-wives first. two years ago. Then I saw your video the other day, and you see I jumped right on. I was like, hey, we gotta talk about this right here. It's on my heart because you explained it really, really well.
Oh,
you know, and I'm very happy that you can speak from, and you speak from experience, but you didn't tell us like how much experience that you had. But now we got the groundwork set. So you grew up in it. So you got 20 plus years off the muscle. Then you got married for 8 more years. What was your dating life like? This is an excellent question. Before we get into the marriage part, but before, how old were you when you got married?
Say 34.
From 16 to 33, what was your dating life like?
Well, I had a strict father, so I didn't really date. It was either I was engaged to someone or I was in the house. I rarely dated, so it wasn't like, okay, I'm dating this dude, and we didn't work out. I'm dating this dude. We didn't work out. I'm dating. My father, he raised all of his girls to maintain a pure lifestyle, to the sense where he didn't really like us dating because, okay, this boyfriend, and we're talking PG, or we're talking rated R, PG-13.
Oh no, my channel is rated everything. This is my channel. We have all rated everything.
I'm not gonna be vocal. I'm just gonna be blunt. If you have a boyfriend, he's gonna touch, lick, others. And if that don't work out, then you go to the next person. And if you do the same thing with this person, that don't work out, you go to the next person. How many men done had a sample before you even say, okay, this is the man I'm gonna settle down with? So that is what my father taught me, to say, you know what, you don't really need to date unless you're really sure, because dating now and even back then, it wasn't a wholesome dating thing. It wasn't just on the phone. The boyfriend wanted to see you, go out on a date, go to the movies. So, dating now and back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, it was not the same as back in the 60s, back in the 50s. It wasn't too wholesome. So I really wasn't into dating.
Wait, now, but when you moved out, did you stay in your father's house till you were in your 30s?
I stayed into my father's house until I was 21. And then I moved out and I got married. Now, my polygamous marriage wasn't my first marriage. That's my second marriage.
See, we getting into some clues now. Thank you. Okay. So you move out. You move out at 21 and you get married.
Right.
And you get married into what type of situation? Mono or poly?
It was monogamy.
How did that happen, pray tell?
He wasn't really into poly like that. He's like, okay, I'm good with one wife. So it was just me and him.
As she sips her tea, y'all saw how she did that? She put y'all on the sip. Everybody's leaning on the edge of their seat right now. Nobody wants to go anywhere else. Make sure y'all press 2 if y'all share this video. If y'all have any questions, make sure y'all type it in here because I will ask all the questions. Believe that, right? So you get married at 21 to this person. That's kind of young, you know what I'm saying, to be getting married. In my opinion, hindsight 2020.
Go ahead.
And how did that go?
It was pretty cool. We didn't really have any type of disagreements. The only thing is with him, I was born in I wouldn't say a religion, but a walk of life of Hebrew Israelite. So maybe about a year into the marriage, he decided he didn't want to walk this walk anymore. So it was kind of confusing between me and him, me following, the Old Testament, and he wanted to be, I guess, Christian or whatever. So we kind of bumped heads when it came to certain, holidays and certain things like that. So we just parted ways respectfully. Then I ended up moving back to my father's house and then getting married again.
When you moved back to your father's house, you were 22, 23. I'm trying to put the timeline together.
I would say about 24.
And you got married at 24, 25? No,
I stayed. I didn't get married until maybe 34. And that was the second marriage in the polygamous marriage.
Is your father still living?
He is.
We need to give him a special shout out right now. What's his name? We need to give him a special shout out. What up, Pops? Pops. No, listen. Your dad is my role model. Is he in South Carolina?
He's in New York.
What part?
Brooklyn.
When it get warmer, tell him I'm coming to see him. Okay. When it get it's too cold right now. So this is amazing because you know who you are, right?
I do.
You're a unicorn.
Why did you say that? Explain that to me.
Oh, you don't know what a unicorn is now. Now you want to play games.
I'm very novice to a lot of things that you might. What does that mean?
You know what a horse is, right?
Yeah.
You know what a sheep, a goat, a snake, a bunny, a turtle, you know all these other animals, right?
I know what a unicorn is, but what does it mean when you call somebody a unicorn?
If somebody says I saw a unicorn, then what would be your first thought?
That they're lying. Like, okay, that's
okay. Then they showed you a picture of the unicorn, and it wasn't Photoshop. Then what you gonna say?
Okay, I think I know.
Look on the screen. They're giving you the answer. They're giving you the answer on the screen. Come on, stop playing. You rare.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that you was rare. You're telling us that you didn't.
I didn't know what that meant. Okay. My bad, y'all. Okay, my bad. See, my look, hey, Real. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're magic. You're magic. You see, that's my big bro right there said you was magic, right? And your father for being like, okay, you bumped your head. You went out there and got with somebody outside the culture. Come on back. So when you came back home, then like you said, there wasn't much dating, so you had to get engaged. So have you been engaged a couple times before you got married?
No.
Oh, so one marriage, come back home, stay, you see this other person. How in the world did he get you then? If you up under the house with the guns out and everything in the barbed wire fence, how did he find you?
Well, I actually knew him. We all grew up together in the same Israelite culture, so I knew him. You know, I knew his family. We worshiped together a lot, so I knew of him. He knew of me, so that wasn't hard. I mean, when I say I didn't date, that doesn't mean that I wasn't social, internet, you know, going out. You know, that's not like that.
So they could holler when you was out. You just couldn't date. They could holler. So you know what hollering is, right?
Yes, I know what that means.
Okay. So how would you handle that? You know what I'm saying? That you come from this polygynous family. You understand that dating someone outside the culture, you know, didn't work the first time. Your father wasn't going for it the next time, and then you out looking good, smelling good, just socializing, relaxing, and all of a sudden, here comes John, and John shoot his shot. How were you handling that?
Well, he actually came and
no, regular John. I ain't talking about the one you eventually got married to.
I wouldn't even entertain John because me growing up as a Hebrew, I wouldn't entertain anybody outside of what my faith is. It was
that's what the first husband taught you.
I guess.
You was like, we ain't doing this again. I'm straight. You burned me one time.
There was too much confusion, too much conflict.
Okay, good. Now we done dug enough into your background. We need you to spread this wisdom now about polygyny, right? Mm-hmm. And why do you think polygyny is important to the Black family when there is so many opponents to polygyny? Like you said in the video, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Eve and Tawana. You know what I'm saying? But everybody forgets about Lilith. Everybody forgets about Lilith, who was there before. Eve was the second wife. For those of you who new to my channel, who I ain't really kicked it to y'all about Lilith lately, but that's another story. Why do you think polygyny is important to the black family? You got a whole 2 million people listening right now. Why is polygyny important to the black family?
It's very important. It's imperative that women understand that there is a shortage of black men. There's a shortage of good black men. There is a shortage of rare good black men, hardworking good black men. Most of them are just in jail, dying young, and to be honest, on a deal, homosexual. There is a small group of good, wholesome, hardworking, faithful men out there. And there's and the ratio between don't stop me now, don't stop me. The ratio between black women and men, we outnumber y'all. And we don't not only outnumber y'all by number, we outnumber y'all like so there's a group of men, right? Half of that group of men is good. Half of that group of men are good enough for marriage. I mean, it's just plain to see. Like, there's not many good men out there to marry. So if there's a man that has already established a good monogamous marriage with him and his wife, and they have tenure and they have good relationship, then why not link in and join that family and help build him and help build that family? Why not? I mean, and it's crazy. A lot of people look at polygyny and they talk bad about it. But you don't talk bad about the other unnormal norms, like homosexuality. And like, it's just so many unnormal norms that people are accustomed to. But when you say polygyny, you get bashed. I don't know. And I understand why. It's because our black men, they did it wrong for so many years. So I understand. But if it's my choice as a woman to join a family and to practice polygyny, why are you upset? Why are you mad at me? I mean, there's just so much I can say about that. It's sad. I mean, if we're happy, like me and my sister wife, we were happy with our ex-husband. I mean, I'm divorced now, but we were happy. Me and my sister wife, we got along fine. We've had people who commended us and looked up to us, but then you have other people that were hating. Like, we were out begging for food and asking for charity handouts, and we were good. But you're mad at us. Why you got a shared husband? This is my choice. But again, I'll say that polygyny is important because there's a shortage of men, good men, and you have women out there that are struggling, single mothers, divorced mothers. You have widows out there. Who are they to latch on to? You expect us to just go to the system and ask the quote unquote white man for help? When there's a man that can come in and help this divorced woman or this widow woman with her children, that this man who has experience, good experience as a good husband and a good father figure, I mean, why not?
It's several of us on here that's falling in love with you really fast tonight. We just want to just express that. If there's some of y'all on here that are loving the queen right now, press the number 8 for infinity. Put them 8s up. Put them 8s up right now if y'all falling in love like me. But see, I ain't be playing because I'm taking notes over here. Some of y'all just sitting here thinking it's for entertainment, trick or treat. So I'm just going to go back to the part where I had paused you, right? And I'm going to share one of my theories. And most of the people, I'm going to come back and read what y'all saying. Look at all them 8s you getting. You see what I'm saying? It's a poly neighborhood. It's a whole poly neighborhood around here. Everett, that's too many 8s. Everett. No, that's just slow down. There's too many 8s, Everett. Slow down. Okay? Anyway, most of my people know that a lot of brothers is upset with me because I'm the truth teller. And I feel that there are, as I'm a historian too, there's 3 types of men on planet Earth. Your ex-husband and your father, and me too, I feel, fit in one of these categories. And I'm going to explain them to you with the numbers. So this can help you. Okay, you ready? The first type of man, this makes up about 94% of men, are court jesters. And you know what a court jester's job is, right? To tell jokes and to pretend he is someone he is not, so he can entertain. That's his only job. He's not supposed to be serious. But the court jester, his sperm still is good. So he out here making a bunch of babies. He definitely got a mouthpiece because he's a professional actor. That's what he do to stay alive, because if he don't entertain the king, he gets killed. Right. Next up, 3% of men are the prince. The prince is of the royal family. He's of the royal bloodline, but he don't want to be king. He just want his sperm to be used and his wand to be used just so he can floss off. And he out here making a bunch of babies too, right? Or he don't want to step up to be the king and speak his honesty. As I say, grab your nuts and look somebody in the face and say what you got to say. And then there's the 3%. That's the last part, which is the king. And that's what's left over. But the funny part is half of the 3% is already taken. So that's why when I wrote that, when you was like 50% is good, but only half of the 50%, 25% is good for marriage. I say 3%, and only half of the 3% is good for marriage, because there are some kings who could handle another wife, but they just chilling for whatever reason. And then there's the other 1.5% that I'm in. I don't have a wife, but I ain't with no foolishness. And I see a bunch of foolishness out here when I speak my truth and say, this is how I operate. This is how I see things. I'm intellectually going to explain it to you. I'm going to give you the background, and then foolishness rolls up. And I just be like, I can be foolish by myself. Right? But I ain't foolish. And so ever since I seen that episode of The Co-Wives, that part you just made, when the sister said, why we got to share a man? And you was like, if the brother already got a track record with a sister and a household, his resume is cool, then why can't we honestly do it? Now watch this piece right here. You left this out, but you wanted to say it, but I'm going to say it for you. The unnormal norm is for the chick to go get the married man and keep it on the what? Low. Down low.
Yes.
And that's normal.
That's normal for people. That's not, nah. Yeah, that's normal for people. If I was to tell my girlfriend, yo, I'm seeing this dude, but he married and his other wife don't know about me, she was like, girl, look, just you happy? That's all that matters. Really? But if I go to my friend and I say, you know what? I found this man and but he's married and his wife know about it and she cool. Girl, you stupid. Really? I don't get it.
Since I'm in class, I have a question. I need you to be. Now, you know that we already rated this. Maria said everyone is sharing in some fashion. Okay, hold on, Maria. Let me set her up. She's new to this. Let me take her slow. So I have a question. And you know that we've already rated this show, rated R for raw and rated B for blunt. So I want you to answer this question because we must get into this. Matter of fact, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to ask a small question before the big one. Who does the most bashing of you being in a polygynous relationship, men or women?
It's sad to say my sisters are.
Don't you put sad in front of that. I told you to keep your energy high. Keep your energy high. Your head means crown. Keep your energy high. It's not sad. It's not sad. I'm going to show you why. It's not sad because truth must be told. Now, she answered the question, ladies and gentlemen. This is a woman who was in a polygynous relationship for 8 years, not bothering nobody, minding her business. You were minding your business, right?
My business.
You wasn't out here going and breaking up no homes and getting with no other married men and on the low, right? You and the sister had a good relationship, right?
Very good. She's actually watching us now, so.
Now watch this. Oh, we can bring 3 people on here too, but I can't bring her on yet. Slow down. And so then you said that more women was bashing what you was doing while you was minding your business, growing spiritually, economically, mentally, emotionally, being provided for, being protected, and they was throwing shade on you. You ready for question number 2?
No, go ahead.
What's wrong with these black women out here today, sister? Keep it 1,000 now. Come on.
They've been hurt. Most of them have been hurt, and a lot of them are scorned.
Hurt, and what was the second one?
Hurt and scorned. Because it is the way that our men practice polygyny. Most of them feel that they are entitled to it, so they jump in with all, feet and legs and head. They just jump in without taking into consideration the actual research that you have to do behind practicing polygyny. And a lot of them just say, you know what, I can do it. Especially, those cultures, those Eastern cultures that it is a practice. Most of them just jump in without even researching it and understand the true practice of polygyny. Yes.
Do you have children?
I do.
Do they go to a public school?
No.
Do you have more than one child?
Yes.
If you tell one of your children to do something and they come and tell you, I shouldn't do it because my sibling ain't doing it, do you say, okay, then you don't have to do it? Or do you say, you better get in there and do what I told you to do?
No, he better do what I told him to do.
Do you want to hear any excuses?
Not at all.
So that's how I am as a black man about what you just said about hurt and scorned. I'm not saying it's not true, but it's still an excuse, because once I know what's right, I can't be like, oh, I come from a neighborhood and a whole street and a whole community of drug dealers and pimps and pushers and prostitutes, so I gotta stay this way. No, my particular rule is the bigger person always goes first. Now, across most of the black woke conscious community, we hear the nation can rise no higher than his woman. So, and we hear that she's the mother of civilization. We know that her mammary glands work, right? We know that, in my opinion, she's the stronger sex. So, I can't give her a pass, but so many times off of hurt and scorned, especially if it's unicorns out here like you. Now, why can't she see what you're doing, see your success, shut her mouth and ask to be guided on how she can be successful too, versus her having to creep around or her having to keep suffering? Because that's what she's doing. That's what you described is a single mom or a divorced mom or a widowed mom who got kids out here in the white man's world, and it's getting tough because the white man wanted to trick off. White man would be like, hey, you can trick off with me. I'll take care of your whole family. Don't even worry about it. Don't you let that black man come around. You can trick with me. So why is it, if the sisters know this? Because my word, if I'm going to give her hurt and scorned, I got to put stupid on there too. Because if I see you doing something smart and I have the capabilities that you have, because you keep, you pretending that you just regular and normal and anybody could do this. Well, if anybody can do it, and I see you doing it, you being successful, and then I go over here and do dumb, stupid stuff when I know you, and remember you said you had a whole YouTube where you were talking about polygyny for 6 years, then that's stupid. And that's why I said this is a RB rated show, raw and blunt. As many videos as I have on YouTube about every little aspect of astrology, and when somebody asks me, why do I charge now $600 for a reading when I used to charge $50 and do 3 hours? Now it's $600 for 1 hour. I say, if you don't go watch them videos on YouTube, then you stupid. And I don't hold, and I'm not putting you down. I'm doing an analysis of what you are showing me. So if I'm gonna let them have hurt and scorned, and I 100% agree that brothers, niggas, F-boys, all the things you could call them, have mispracticed polygyny because of the way that they've come about it. There's some brothers who can't get monogamy right. So what do you say about that? About, am I just supposed to give these sisters a pass because they hurt or scorned? Or when do the sisters step up and say, the light bulb go off and be like, man, this is the ancient way. It's older than what I've been trying. What do you have to say to that? And then I'm going to get some questions offline. I mean, on the screen here.
Well, to some women, hurt and depression feels good. It feels good to soak. It feels good to stay and wallow. It feels good to them because they, in their mind, they're getting all the attention. They get attention that way. That woman don't want to educate herself and heal. She has to heal herself, and it has to come to a time where she has to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm tired of giving out excuses. I'm going to heal myself. Some women just don't want to be healed. They want to keep dragging it and dragging it. And I'm not beating my sisters up. They want to keep dragging that. Okay, yeah, he did me wrong and he did this. I'm never going to. Just heal yourself. Whether you're jumping in a poly relationship or a monogamous relationship, you have to be healed all across the board. So she has to want to be healed. She has to accept what she's gone through, because we've all been through it. We've been through it all. Even in monogamous marriage, we've been through it. But you got to heal yourself first. You got to accept that. Accept what you went through. That's all I'm saying. And she has to want to be healed.
Okay, so here I am, average brother, listening to what you're saying. I'm just coming in through here minding my business, you know, like you was doing. So when I see her, if you was coaching me, matter of fact, let me get a little free coaching session here. I might be able to kick you something. I don't know if I can afford it. The eligible king, you know what I'm saying? Got my own thing going on. Believe in being honest. No kids. Not afraid to talk about why. A healer. Have overcome several things. Have done several healing for myself. I have a 30-year, I really have a 100-year plan. And if I see a sister who just does not, and she's attracted to me and I'm kind of attracted to her, but she just wants to fight for her limitations, that's what we call that, I'm just supposed to just be like, go ahead and just keep on moving to the next one.
Repeat your question. You kind of broke up.
If I am a single man, which I am because I'm not married, and for me, I believe I'm single till I get married, and I'm out here wanting to be married, but I continue to run into sisters who feel good about being miserable, as you put it. They want to wallow and keep dragging on their suffering. What am I to do?
Why would you want to subject yourself to someone who wants to be victimized?
No. I'm trying to tell me, how do I get the good one? I ain't subjecting myself. That's why I'm single. Look around. Look, hold on. One time for the mind. Look, you don't see nothing. You don't see nothing in the background making no noise, trying to distract me. No, I don't do that. I make a way though, and I'm prepared. But what am I to do to find another unicorn?
You know what? Stop looking. To be honest, just stop looking, because we put in so much effort in looking for people and putting so much emphasis on looking for someone, and you just go and just head in, and so with so much eager and so much determination that I gotta find somebody because my clock is ticking, that you miss all the red flags. They'll come. To be honest, I know a lot of people say, "Well, I'm getting old." They'll come. You going to look for someone, you're going to overlook all of the potential red flags in this person.
What's your PayPal? What's your PayPal?
What?
Because my people do donations. So what's your PayPal?
I don't need donations.
Listen, you ain't gonna be turning down no money in the king's face. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. We out here helping economically. What's your Cash App then? What do you have that you normally use? What's your Cash App? This is my channel. Just like you wouldn't come to your husband's house and tell him how to run his channel. Don't tell me how to run my channel. If my folks want to give you something, then let them give you something.
It's just my first name, Atara. A-T-A-R-A-H.
One more time.
It's my first name, A-T-A-R-A-H.
A-T-A-R-A-H. R-A-H. Get it cracking, y'all. That's $ A-T-A-R-A-H. Listen, game is to be sold, not told. So don't get out here and start looking crazy. Okay, now hold on. Let me get to this thing here. Got a couple other questions because I said I was going to have to limit my questions because we supposed to be up on YouTube. So whenever your Wi-Fi get up to speed, I still want you. You still owe me my YouTube presentation. Okay.
I got you.
Okay, good. Y'all heard her. She said she got me. Okay, so first off, we hear Victoria says, if a woman is interested in a man who's already in a committed or partnership, would it be most respectable to go to the woman first before engaging in the relationship with the man?
Yes. That would allow that man to look at this woman and honor her because she values both parties in that relationship. Most women come in and say, you know what? I'm not in a relationship with her. I'm just going to be in a relationship with him. So what's up with me and you? No, at the end of the day, like I said in my last video, polygyny is more a relationship between the women, the two wives. So yes, you want to establish a positive relationship between his first wife. Yes.
I got this over from the co-wives, and I want to ask you your take on it. Agree, disagree, or you want to amend it? They said that when the man takes on another wife, the wife is marrying the man, and the man tells her what to do. She's not marrying the first wife, so the first wife can be like, I tell you what to do too. Who does this? Because this is important to me, because some women will come in and try to flex, in my opinion. Who is giving instructions, and who does the second wife take instructions from? Does she take instructions from both of them? Or does she, because is that why she's introducing herself to the first wife? So you can tell me what to do too? So I'm marrying you? Or am I I mean, you know, you said it's out of respect, but who is the second wife getting instructions from? Who's really leading this house?
She's coming in as a wife too. She's not coming in as a servant. She's not coming in as a concubine or a handmaid. So she doesn't take instructions from the first wife. She's giving that first wife the respect. She takes what is the word? I'm sorry, I have a brain fart. She takes what was your question?
Who's she taking instructions from? Who's she getting her command lead from?
Only from the husband, because that's the man of the relationship. However, they want to build a long-lasting, respectable relationship as well. So she's not coming in as a handmaid. She's coming in as a wife too. My role as a wife, it means just as much as your role as a wife. But the first, second, or third, I'm a wife too. I'm not a servant. I'm not a handmaid. So I'm not going to come in under you and take instruction from you. Yes.
This is how I am on the front row. So back here, you said that the men have mispracticed polygyny? It sounds like, so what about the woman, the first wife, who thinks that the other woman coming in, now you got to answer to me. You my servant too. You answer to him. You answer to us. Is that a mispractice of polygyny also by the woman? And what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Why? And I'm going to ask the whole question. What's wrong with her thinking that she can run it? And then what's wrong with the dude letting her run it like that?
That's the thing. The women don't allow the women. They don't run it. And like you said, there's a lot of men allowing these women to run their households. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a type of person that accepts a line in the house, because the Bible speaks about being a line in the house. However, you can't expect me to come in and take instruction from the man and to take instruction from who? From you as well. They should all sit down. We should all sit down as one big happy family, and we'll discuss how we're going to run this as a family. In my opinion, these men allow the women to run them because they fear to lose one wife or another one. So they
fear to lose what? Be specific on the Raw and Blunt channel, please.
They fear to lose one woman for another woman.
I respect you. I love your mind, your wisdom, but I must add a little champagne to your campaign. Because remember what I do? I be snitching on brothers. Since you don't want to be specific, because it's not your channel, I'll say it. These marks, these lame ass dudes is afraid they're going to lose some pussy. They afraid they're going to lose an opportunity. They have been conditioned that their woman's passive aggressiveness and use of sex as a disciplinary and reward tool is going to be taken away from them or used against them. That, my queen, is why. And for me, I'd be like, man, you can go on and take that somewhere else, because it's so much amazing coochie out here on the planet Earth. I know you don't think that my mama raised a sucker like that, where you told me I can't have no coochie and now I'm supposed to bend the knee. Nah, I already got a Most High already, and it ain't between your legs. I appreciate what's in between your legs, but in Islam, they call that shirking. Shirking is when you put something next to the Most High. I don't do that. I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? So, because then I'd be like, well, what I got is equal value too. Because you don't know how to asexual produce out here. It is some asexual reproduction going on, but you don't know how to do it. Now what? And you're doing this as a defensive mechanism for your past relationships that you ain't all the way quite healed from. And now you want me to pay on that old light bill. That's one of my country rules. I'm not paying on the old light bill, but I'll walk you back over there with Reggie and hold the door and hold space for you and Reggie to work all this out, because I didn't do that to you. I just got finished telling a sister here recently, I said, I haven't known you a whole year. And what you bringing to the table ain't nowhere in the world. Oh, that's for me. That you coming at me with right there. I was like, you need to go holler at somebody and work that out. Now I'm going to turn the mic back over to you.
Well, you're right. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, they don't want to give up the fact that they have two women that they don't have to hide from the other woman. Like, I don't have to hide one woman from another. So that's one of the things that the men don't want to lose. So yeah, you're right. I didn't want to say it.
This may be a side note, but why are some women weaponizing their vagina to run the household?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. Like you said, some women feel that their stuff is the most valuable thing in the world. I can't answer for them. I just can't.
You know the TV shows where they be like, you sleeping on the couch tonight. And I'd be like, how she gonna tell him to sleep? He gonna sleep where?
I never understood that either. And he'll go sleep on that couch. I mean, you've seen on TV shows. TV shows, that's how it is.
That never happened in your household? Did you ever see your mother tell your father that?
I wish she would.
Oh, no, you really don't. You just saying that allegorically. You really
Yeah.
don't wish you would. Right. You really don't wish you would. Right. So you never told your husband that either.
No.
Right. What would you do if you had a problem? Oh, no, no, wait, let's go. I want both. What did you see coming up? Because you're giving a testament to your ancestors right now. You're giving a living testament and flowers to your ancestors by speaking about this true story, this untold unicorn story. How did you see your mother and father, or your mother, handle differences that she had with her father? And then how did you handle differences with your husband?
I would say, to be honest, back then it wasn't a lot of communication going on between the husband and wife. You know, back in the 60s and the 70s, a lot of women were raised to just submit to their husband humbly and respectfully. So I've seen a lot of that growing up with my mother. Even though there were times when they had meetings, they had sit downs, they had dinner when they were able to express themselves, but that didn't go on quite much. In my marriage, we had a lot of meetings. Me, my ex-husband, and my sister wife, we had a lot of meetings where we just sat down and just talked. Hey, what's on your mind? What's on your heart? But me and my sister wife never really had those type of elephant in the room type conversations. Like we're not talking to her, or we're not talking to each other. It wasn't like that. So we've never really had to have those type of conversations like, why y'all not talking? Why y'all beefing? What's going on? It was like that. But in the event if something did happen, we would sit down and we'll have a meeting. We'll have a discussion like, okay, what's going on? How can we fix it?
So everybody had the power to call a meeting.
Yeah.
Hold on. Y'all see me writing that down. Y'all need to write that down too for y'all notes, because a lot of the game she giving y'all right now is good for a monogamous relationship too.
Yeah.
Duh. If it can work in a group, I'm absolutely certain it can work for the one-on-one game.
Yes.
Hold on. Everybody can call a meeting. See, I'm drawing my playbook out. See, what you write on paper makes paper. Erykah Badu, what you write down, you know what I'm saying? Okay. We had a couple comments. The sister said, yes, here in Oakland, the brothers in the Muslim community are reckless with the way they practice, so it brings about unhealthy results, as well as here in Atlanta. So a quick history lesson. I'm in Atlanta, right? So Atlanta always had the Georgia peaches. Nice, thick, very hospitable. In the late 1960s, there was a large Muslim group in Philadelphia with MOVE, which were part of the Black Panthers from Oakland. And then when they got bombed by the United States, a lot of them came down to Atlanta. But when they came to Atlanta in the early 70s, there was already a high population of pimps here as well. So when you have pimps and low character Muslim men in a field of opportunity like Georgia was in the 70s, with all these thick, fine women who got good work ethics and, you know what I'm saying, ready to follow instructions and all that, abuse can come like a contamination when you're growing mushrooms, right? When you're growing mushrooms, big shouts out to all my mycologists, what is our number one enemy? Contamination. Once you put the right stuff in there, don't you make sure everything's clean, you wipe everything down, you got the air purified and all that, your mushrooms are going to grow. But then when you grow some mold or you grow some penicillin, that ain't what you was trying to do. Your environment got contaminated, and it got contaminated. Then the swinging community hits Atlanta after that, because the Muslim brothers, along with the pimps, was just like, we're just going to do whatever. And the sisters was just blindly following. You know this true. You can just stop me. You can just be like, oh, bro, you lying. Whenever I tell a lie, just raise your hand or just be like, stop that. And so then when the swinging community came down to Atlanta and hit all that other contamination, then poly came after swinging, because I'm a historian. Swinging came, then poly came, then what some people think is Tantra came. And that's why the settings for contamination in relationships in Atlanta is horrific. And I want to make a public record right now, because I'm really sick and tired of women telling me, oh, you in Atlanta, you single, you getting all the butt. All the women is throwing this. No, they're not, because I ain't no sucker, okay? Because I don't want no contamination in my space. And I already was with, that was a loaded question. The sister just told me, she was like, quit looking. They're going to have to come to me now.
Right.
I done never gave y'all 50 years. You know what I'm saying? The first, let me see, first 41 years, whew, I'm doing a lot of experimenting. I've been getting a little smarter here lately. But where I'm at right now, my tolerance level for the game plan is low. And I'm going to let you go on about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to try to change your blood type or your mind or your birthday. I'm going to just relax. Were you about to make a comment before I go find another thing on here?
I'm listening.
Okay, good. Yeah. I don't know. And I always ask that question, be like, why do y'all keep trying to put a whole bunch of women on me? Like, nah. First off, I need an empire. My empire is incomplete. And there's no single billionaires. So where my goal is at, I already have the arts that can make me immortal. So I'm not looking at dying at 70, leaving you nothing. I'm going to make it to $120, $150. Really, realistically, I have the capabilities. I did something I do. I want to take somebody with me, and with no kids, a 50-year-old having some children is going to have is that maturity in the crib is going to be crazy. Venus Williams' father has I think he got a 3-year-old or 4-year-old son, right? So they was at a press conference one time, and they asked him, they said, so when is your son going to start playing tennis? Because you're going to be in the Tennis Hall of Fame. Both your daughters have won Wimbledon, French Open, U.S. Open. They're going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, nigger, when you going to let your son get out here and start, entertaining us, chasing a ball like all the other niggers? Do you know what he said? He said, my son going to be a billionaire. He's not going to be in sports. He's going to be in these financial money markets. So it's your daddy and Venus Williams' daddy. That's my two heroes right now. Because they get it. He was like, we already done that. My daughter's got the capital for their little brother. He going to manage, because their sister, the money they had put their sister through law school. So their sister manages all of their deals with Puma and Nike. So people don't know that. I think both of them have lifetime contracts with Puma and Nike to the term of like $3 or $5 million a year for the rest of their life, whether they play tennis or not. Wow. So their sister worked that out because the father came in the household as a king and was like, this is how we're going to do things. You see what I'm saying? So big shouts out to my man, Calvin. The sister said, hurt is not an excuse, yet it's a lot of it rooted in the way the men practices. I see a lot of Muslim men taking on another wife when the current marriage is in turmoil. Yes, brothers, cut that out. If you can't manage one, getting another one ain't gonna fix it. Atara, you agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree.
Oh, okay.
When men do stuff like that, they bring in that second wife. She already come in with, that type of confidence and arrogance. Like, yeah, he got me to come in and fix everything. So her attitude is gonna be off the chain in the beginning. Her mentality is not coming in to work together with the woman. Her mentality is coming in to usurp the first woman and say, you know what, he got me for a reason. He got me because you was slipping. He got me because of this. That may be some of the reasons why, but that shouldn't be the attitude that she come in with. So, yes.
What about the flip side when the married woman go out and get her a cat because she believes in what's good for the goose is good for the gander? So she's married to this dude, whatever reason, whatever she get mad for, whether it's he seeing another chick on the side and she catch him, and then she say, I'm going to go out and do the same thing. what's going on with that? Because here I run a two-way street show. I agree with you that men be doing some dumb stuff, but the woman who I feel is smarter than us, why does she go out and do something like that when her marriage is in turmoil and she go out and go get with another cat?
I don't think she's into really. Her goal is not to fix the marriage. Her goal is just to get even. That is her goal, just to get even. It's not to fix it, because I'm sure she never went to him. And if she did, she didn't come to him the way she should have. Because women are very manipulative, and could be manipulative in a very positive way and a negative way. If you, in my opinion, you want your marriage to be fixed, you go to your husband, you try to fix it. You don't do stuff in the backhand, because it's always going to end up biting you in the butt. That's not going to help things. She's not. She that type of woman is not into help fix things. She's only out to get even, and most of the time it doesn't end well.
When you said get even, once again, you didn't go all the way. I'm gonna just add on. She's getting even for how she felt that she was hurt.
Right.
So now she wants to hurt this person as equally as she felt hurt, which for me is now you want to take the low road versus being the bigger person first, showing higher intellect.
Right.
You want to quote unquote get the last lick in, which shows all types of immaturity. It shows personal immaturity, spiritual immaturity. However, we do live in a land of spiritual infidels in the Black community, especially these conscious and woke Negroes. I said it. She didn't say it. She nodding her head though, but I'm the one that said it. Okay. And so, dang, I should have been recording all this for the podcast. It's okay, because I cut the podcast off. Oh, you owe me 2 shows now. So this is just good content. So I can just pull this down off the audio. I know how to pull it down. I already fixed it in my mind already. So women are manipulative, you said. Can I add vindictive to that too?
Yeah, because for her to go ahead out and think that she can get even, she's only eventually going to hurt herself. Just so, yeah, you can add vindictive to it.
Okay, somebody said Victoria had a question around.
You know, our women will take it a step further in trying to hurt this man how she's been hurt. We'll take it a whole step further. We'll dibble into, with the children. We'll start attacking that man using his children, and that is no fair to the children. Now that's being vindictive. That has nothing to do with the children, and I've seen it. I've seen women use children to get back at men. And even though he hurt you, you still have to keep in mind with these children, because when you do that, these children grow up with that malice inside, and then they grow up to be vindictive and hurt individual, and they start hurting people. It's just a cycle. It's just an evil cycle.
Oh, so now you just want to tell my story. You just want to tell my story now, huh? You want to tell my story?
No,
that's what you're doing.
No, I'm just
what you telling my story. You telling no. You thought you was talking in general. You talking to me. Wow. My parents, my folks started breaking up when it was just me and my sister. Then my mama moved to South Carolina, back to South Carolina. My father left everything in North Carolina, went down there, got my mama pregnant with my little brother, had the baby in South Carolina, came back to North Carolina, built a house for her on his land. And when the house was completed, she filed for divorce. And then he had to sell land that was left to him by my grandfather on his side in order to pay my mother $14,000 in 1982 to get her out of the marriage. And then she walks away with 14 grand. She had my little sister and my little brother custody and still came at my daddy every day. And my father, I tell everybody, my father tried to get custody of all three of us until he passed in 2002. And I was 32 years old. My sister was 28. My little brother was 24. So you're like, how could he be trying to get custody of some grown people? Because that's how much he loved his children. And so that's where I learned to pray from. I seen my father on his knees every morning and every night. Two things he was praying for was, I want my children back, and I don't want to kill my wife. I don't want to kill their mama. This real talk. So me coming up, I didn't understand the subconscious effects of this. Because I was just like, because I blamed a whole bunch of folks, because the white man came in, he had a lot to do with it too, because he helped me. He made me a focal point of my mother's malice, because they started cutting the food so much in the courtroom at the divorce hearing. The judge told both of them to shut up, bring all three children back into the chambers. So I'm 11, my sister's 7, my little brother is 3. He's sitting on the chair, his feet can't even touch the floor. And the judge look at me and say, you're going to decide where everybody goes. Now, how is an 11-year-old boy from the country going to make a decision like this? That's the breath. That's the breath. That's the breath that's right. So when I say I had to heal from, I come from a dysfunctional family. So when I see dysfunction, I can smell it. I done sold more cocaine than a little bit. So if I see somebody, I know you've been doing coke. If I tell you you're doing cocaine, just be like, all right, bro, you caught me. Because I already know. If I say you're doing some crack or some type of drug, ain't no use of you trying to hide, because I've been all in those dimensions. Plus, I'm psychic. It's ridiculous, right? And I come from a psychic, magical family of runners that I had to go against all of that. That's why we're doing this show. We're doing this interview, because they could have called a parlay. That's really what that is when you say you, the sister wife, and the husband came in to solve something. All of y'all need to watch Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean 1, 2, and 3 to understand what a parlay is. A parlay is when you put the guns down and you come in and say, we're going to talk about it, and nobody gets to pick up no weapons. Then we leave after this and we hold the agreement for what happened at the parlay. My mother and father didn't hold no parlays. So it kept on being vindictive all the way until my father passed. My father was like, yo, go tell your mama and your sister and your brother I want to see them before I die. Now, I stayed with him, and they stayed with my mama. And so I was like, bruh, he said, if they don't come see me, I'm going to leave them out the will. I said, man, you need to let that go. Now here I am in my 30s trying to talk to him like a grown man. That didn't go well. It didn't go well. He didn't want to hear that. So he was like, go tell him. He told me to shut the F up and go do what I told you to do, which he had been telling me for a long time since I was little. So I told him, and my mother was like, I don't have nothing to say to that asshole. I was like, oh man. I told my sister, told my brother. They was like, what for? So I say, yo. So when I tell women, I'm going to hurt, you want to hurt that man, or you want to get even with him, or you want to cause pain, you got blood in your eyes. So you can't see clearly. If you go back to ancient Egypt, you now are the story of Heru. Because when Heru was seeking vengeance and justice for his father Osiris, he was so emotional fighting his uncle, he wasn't using wisdom, and he lost his eye. That's why it's one eye on the pyramid. That's why it's a one-eyed jack. This is a story of your emotions getting you so much that you lose something that's vital to yourself. Me and my mother don't communicate. My sister teaching a whole course about black mama wounds. I think she's the only person in the country even big enough to even talk about this, right? And I call it castration. If you're going to leave the man, if you're going to leave the brother because he did something, don't castrate him first, because now the next sister who gets him, he ain't got no nuts. What is he good for? You done cut his nuts. He totally terrified. And now you got his nuts going on to the next relationship, and now you done create a reputation of I castrate niggas. Now for me, studying the art of war, that type of person on both sides, no matter the sex, should be put down. I used to raise pit bulls. Pit bull get sideways. Any of the dogs get sideways. You have to do what? Put them down for the safety of the community. We already trying to parlay with you, but when you come up there and do things like that, is the brother wrong for his mispractice of polygyny? Absolutely. I could also say that the black man is the most hunted man on the history of the planet. He got a bullseye on his back. Ladies, y'all got a bullseye between y'all legs. Y'all do get killed. Y'all do get sex traded, but ain't nobody trying to kill y'all. Nobody has a fear of you like they are afraid of the black man. So when you go and say, I'm a castrate the most feared thing on the planet, guess who you actually helping? You helping the opponent. You helping the sinister. And you're not thinking about what you could have a Rothschild type family. You could have a House of Windsor type family. But now you're going to reincarnate. I believe in reincarnation. It does happen. And you're going to have to come back and meet the same dude in another life, in a different body, and solve the same thing. And that's where I'm at. It
was never solved.
Say that again?
I said that was never solved.
That was never solved. That was never solved. Okay, I done got on my soapbox and somebody said something about courting. So if you have a question about courting, please type it in here again. If I didn't see the question, my apologies. Plus, we're children as black men. Yeah, we still children. Like you trying to, and for me, I'm trying to build an empire. If you come after my nuts, I'm gonna treat you like you a man. I ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm all sensitive, because I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about my nephew. I'm thinking about the children that I ain't had yet, the children that I could have had. You see what I'm saying? So and I just got finished talking to the young bro today. He 19. I was like, bro, you got to protect the perimeter. I said, you don't be thinking about the perimeter. You got to guard the perimeter. But if somebody's in your house and they trying to cause harm to you on any level inside the house, what the future gonna look like? Of course, the perimeter is gonna fall. To me, this is why polygyny can be successful. Oh, yeah. It's the ancient way. Baba Kalindi said, he was like, you ain't doing what the ancient ones was doing because you ain't doing what the ancient ones was doing. Like you can't repeat what they doing if you ain't doing what they was doing, right? Somebody said the trauma continues. We all have to do better for the greater of our family and communities. The future generations are watching. I like all that in theory when we be talking like that, but to me that's not effective enough. Like, here's what I want, and you can ask me, dang, I want to get back on polygyny, but this is one thing that I want. I feel that sisters can straighten sisters, because in the culture that we have now, since like 90s, these 90s kids and 80s kids, they're not open to suggesting like that from men no more. And they riding so wild because the sisters are riding so wild, and they uncheckable at this point. And so the piece that kills me is, because I got 3 felonies, so I understand the law very good. If you do something and you lie on the stand, that's perjury. You're supposed to go to jail. Right. So if the sister says he is the father of this baby, she put child support on him, he start paying child support, he stopped paying child support, he go to prison, and then find out the baby ain't his. What's supposed to happen to that sister? What is justice here?
She's supposed to go to jail.
I finally got a sister to say it. You're the first sister to ever say it out her mouth. Now, they saying, well, is that unreasonable? Nah, because he went to jail. It wasn't even his baby. Not only should she go to jail, she should have to give him his money back. Right. Because that's what not just immaturity, but that's what low moral character has called. You've caused this man harm. You see what I'm saying? How is he gonna be straightened? I definitely don't want to have sex with you. You can't give me no coochie. You can get out of here.
You have caused this man's life to be in danger just by him going to prison. Especially if she...
Say it.
Especially if she knew that wasn't his baby. That's evil. That is evil. I'll say it. That's evil.
I want a woman squad to be assembled to go out here and find them evil women and whoop their ass. I don't even want a team of lawyers going after them. I want old school ass whooping for her to go down there and say, take him off of child support. I'm going to pay for the blood test. And it ain't his. And I put myself at the mercy of the court, and I'm going to start paying him. Because she came in there with a black eye and a dislocated shoulder because 6 or 7 sisters rolled up on her and whooped her ass. Now, mind you, listen, you're only going to have to whoop 3 asses because the word going to spread like wildfire. Listen, you know how women talk? If the sex is good, the money's good, if he ain't shit, if this ain't right, it spreads. When somebody get their ass whooped, they're going to say, why did they whoop her ass? Oh, yeah. Well, she lied on him on the baby. And then it's going to get out to that other sister who was like, wait a minute, I lied on the baby too. It might be, they might be coming for me. How'd they find out about you, girl? I don't know. They knew it was me though. And they ran up on me. And you know I can't fight. I just lie. And they were just whooping on me. So ladies, they're going to be doing Instagram lives. They're going to be like, ladies, there's these group of women out here that's whooping ass. Because when they whoop the ass, they want you to pick up the phone and make them go live and tell it right then with the lip busted and everything. Like, I just got my ass whooped by this group of women because I lied on my baby daddy. I just want to go public right now and say I've been lying. These kids ain't his, child support, and he need to get out of prison right now.
You know
That's
what?
Gonna go viral.
Those women will hear and fear, and they will do no more such evil. They won't. They'll be mindful about what they do from now on. It's like, yo, like, how is this even happening? Let me just chill right now. You know, let me be a woman and just chill. That's crazy.
That's Cash App, $ATARAH. $ATARAH. That's Atara's Cash App. My Cash App is broke, so don't worry about me. I'm straight. We're gonna send it to our guests right here. That's the law, they said. That's right. Look at that. Look at the signs. Look at the screen. You see you see how everybody's happy about agreeing with you, Miss Unicorn? That's your nickname.
It's sad, but it's true.
There it is, y'all. Wait. There we go. There go the Cash App, y'all. We done pinned it. Get it popping. Trauma runs very deep in the Nubian American culture. That's why we having this conversation.
Yeah, that's indeed.
We want to parlay. We want to parlay and what were you about to say?
No, go ahead.
You're not familiar? Are you familiar with Baba Kalindi? So I asked Kalindi about this situation. Kalindi Iyi, a pure legend.
The name sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. And I asked Baba Kalindi, I said, yo, we was talking about, so he's a martial artist extraordinaire, mycology master, wise Baba, grandmaster, and he was a polygynist. He had several wives. So I was like, don't worry about the martial arts and the mushrooms. I want to hear about these relationships. How do I get this thing straight? And you know what he told me? He said, a woman in her nature is ready to be in this type of natural relationship. He says you're not battling her nature, you're battling her programming. She's been programmed to think that I can be everything. He don't need nobody else. And this is the romantic way that it's supposed to be. Well, he said you.
Oh, Lord. You're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, you're right.
Baba breathing from the other side right now. He made you breathe. That's what he said. He was like, you facing the program, bro. You ain't facing the, you're not facing her. That's why she was attracted to you. He said her nature came to you. Her programming was what started the problem. I've been blown away ever since that, because I was just like, well, let me just start analyzing. I started going backwards, looking at relationships of why jokers came to me, and then what was the problem. And then I started looking at my present situation, and now I just look forward. I'm like, okay. So, the program is always going to be, and especially like you said, even if I find another unicorn, she going to be getting whooped on by another sister's program. Uh-oh, wait a minute, what's this? Somebody said women already practice polygamy. They like to be with brothers, fathers, cousins, barbers, business partners, employees, all that. Oh my goodness.
Somebody, I think it was Shayna of the Universe. She had a question.
Read it.
I don't see it. I know. I just saw her kept saying that she wanted you to ask her question.
She said, "This is insane. What about what the women need?" Exactly. Conversations. Shayna, just type the question, honey, and I'm gonna get to it. I definitely ain't ducking you. She says, "I'll send you an IG of a polygynous woman you can look up." We talking here. If you got a question about us, I'm not even making it about what the woman needs, because I can fast forward it to Atara's video where she says, if the man don't have 4 things, Atara, while we waiting on her question, go ahead and drop science one more time. But the man, because you kept saying provide, he must provide. But I didn't oppose your version of provide, because your provide had integrity in it. I've heard other women say he supposed to provide, and I was like, well, what the hell you gonna do? What you bringing to the? You know what I'm saying? What if I'm providing, your legs up in the air ain't enough no more. No. So what are you providing? Also, it ain't because I can't provide. I'm a natural warrior. You a natural nurturer. Your magic is stronger than mine. Your psychic abilities is stronger than mine. Your ability to tend to the fire is better than mine. I can hunt wolves and kill more easily than, you know what I'm saying? Even though you're a fiercer hunter, I can go do these things, but what you gonna do? And that's the part where when I hear a woman saying, well, what about it? Nah, shorty, I need you women to tell me what you gonna provide for me. So if I'm correct, as I heard in the video and I agree with, I'm definitely supposed to come through with some finances. I'm supposed to come through with some protection. I better come through with some wisdom. And in my opinion, I don't know if you said this, but I better have some vision. I better have a plan. Is there anything else, Atara, that I need to have too when I'm trying to holler at a unicorn?
He has to be able to provide finances, shelter, clothes, conjugal rights, strength, like you said, protection. All of that stuff have to be in line before he even thinks about bringing in another woman.
Okay, now.
And not to say that the woman just stay home and expect him to just bring the bags in. She has to secure some bags too. We bring a lot to the table. We work too. We work. We do the side pots. For those of you who play Pekino, we us women, we bring in those side pots. So if you don't win the game, the whole game, you could win the 4 aces and the 4 of a kind in the corners, because that's what we do. We're hustlers too. We have to bring in a hustle mentality too, because we're not just home doing nothing. We work too. Women are supposed to work also inside the home. You have to be able to teach your children. You have to keep the house stable, sane. loving, so that when he does come home, he doesn't come home to chaos. That takes work. That takes work. Whether it's punching the clock or not, you still have to work. Well, a wife is expected to work whether she's punching the clock or not. That's my opinion.
There ain't no opinion. That's gospel. There ain't no opinion. That's gospel.
I mean, if he's out all day working and he comes home to no dinner, dirty house, dumb children, dirty laundry, what have you been doing? But you expect me to come home strong enough to please you, strong enough to give you money to go shopping, strong enough to pay all these bills. What are you giving me? What are you giving me? We lost ourselves because, like you said, we've been programmed to, girl, let that man do for you, girl, let that man. What are you doing? What are you doing to help promote this man's strength? What are you doing to help keep his fire lit to be a man? If he see all of these things checked off, that's going to give him that will, that drive to keep going. We destroy black men too. Our programming have destroyed black men too. We have. It's unfortunate. We have. Because in our mind, it's just like he has to do everything. But what are we doing? And then eventually, you're going to push him out of the house. And I can say something as simple as him coming home to not know cook meals, him coming home to dirty laundry, him coming home the children can't read or write, him coming home to a dirty household, him coming home to you nagging him and fussing all the time. I mean, those are simple things. And I'm not even touching the bigger picture. You're just going to run him away.
Can you touch the bigger picture for us, please? We'd like you to touch the bigger picture as well. Go ahead, touch the bigger picture.
Let's answer some questions.
Okay. First off, my question comes first because my show. Number 4, because I was counting off. You said conjugal. What you say, conjugal visits, or he got to provide? What you mean conjugal? When I hear conjugal, I think of prison. When
he has to be able to be strong enough to sleep with one woman and the other woman. If you're giving one woman all the attention, and then when it comes to the second woman's time, you're tired. Oh, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to cuddle. That means you're not ready. You're just not ready. We say, sex is not everything. It's something. It's something. And I'm being real. It's something. We're grown. We're grown, and it's let's just say it does mean some things to certain people, and it is important. It is important. If you're so tired because you're spending time with with your first wife or second wife, and you don't have that energy and time to spend with the other wife, then you don't need it.
Brothers and sisters, if y'all ain't hitting this cash out, unfollow me, and don't you ever. I'm talking about somebody better send $1. Somebody better send something for some appreciate some. Nah, man, this a unicorn. I done spotted a unicorn and brought it here so y'all can see her, and y'all ain't gonna drop no change. Nah, man. Listen, when I get off of here, I'm gonna be sending her a text. I don't want to know how much, ain't none of my business, but I am gonna count. I'm gonna be like, how many cash apps did you get? You know what I'm saying? And I will go up here and put some damn, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't putting no bread on here, yo, you a sucker, yo. You a sucker right now. For all this, right now, yes, nod your head. Come on, we're gonna be in unison. Nod your head. Get with the program. That's right. She working now. Why is a servant is due they pay? Ain't that in the Bible? Ain't a servant due his pay?
Yeah, you're right. I'm charging the phone. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm talking right now. Get your phone charged. She out here serving. I got mine plugged up on the tripod. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should listen to that.
But I just don't feel hooking it up.
Oh, she fancy. She's super fancy. Y'all. She got the whole big thing there. Right. Y'all see it, and that's men and women. Okay. May the ancestors continue to bless you. Absolutely. I love y'all. Keep doing strong discussions going, family. Absolutely. Who got some more questions? I'm trying to scroll and find what's happening in here. That's right. She put it back on there again. The sister posted it again for you. That's where the Tantra comes in. And Baba trying to push the envelope. Baba, we trying to get the foundation straight before we do the before we go to the master class. Now, when we talk about the Tantra, I mean, even though the sister is giving you sisters tantric game, she's giving y'all high level at eye level, so y'all can digest it and understand it. Okay, I have said damn near everything she said before. You get upset with me, so
people don't like truth. It's truth. Truth hurts.
Hold on, Victoria. I gotta go get her because Victoria's gonna be upset. She gonna be in my DM talking about you ain't answer my questions. Oh, conjugal rights. That's what she said. Conjugal rights. Okay. I got that. Conjugal rights. Yes. Right. Oh, well, shoot. This is a nice personal question, and this may be the first one you pass on. How did that work? Because I put that in the title. How did that work? This is so good. This is so good because most women want a mono relationship because they think if another woman comes in that they're going to get less sex, right? And you said something interesting in your video that when a woman start getting older, she ain't going to be able to keep up. This brother going to still be wanting to, bust it wide open. She going to be like, well, I'm in my menopause. I got hot flashes. Like, you really can't bust it open like when I was 27. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to do no threesome with y'all tonight. I really just would like my time really for a couple of nights. Matter of fact, a couple of weeks because I'm going through something. That's that long range vision, which I think is a myth because women like, oh, if he was another woman, I can't get enough sex. How did you all, and if you don't want to tell your personal, you may just make some suggestions of how is it handled in successful relationships that you've seen that a man would be able to sexually satisfy his wives to the level that there's still harmony in the household?
Okay, for one, when a man has two wives and the fact that he doesn't have to hide to be with any of them, that natural excitement is there for him. So that is helping him off the bat. That's helping him. Number two, we know, well, me for one, I know how important it is for a male to eat right. So if I know that this man has to work overtime because he has two women, then I'm going to make sure he eats right. I'm not going to feed him any type of food. I'm not going to stress him out about how long was he with her and why I'm only getting, you shorted me 2 minutes. I'm going to make sure his mental is straight. I'm going to make sure his internal body is straight. That way it'll come naturally. I'm not even going to stress him out about it. I'm going to make sure I do my part to make sure he's healed inside. Clean eating, no stressing, and it's going to come naturally for him. Yes.
You trying to tell me that you and your sister wife made sure that your husband had a sex diet, that y'all together made sure that his internal body was clean, y'all together made sure he was not stressed out, and both of y'all made sure his mental condition was good to go. It wasn't just one of y'all's jobs. Both of y'all took that on as a responsibility?
We both did. We both did.
For 8 years. Mm-hmm. And you saw this growing up too? Your father had 4 wives and you saw this at home too?
Yeah. See, my father was a different breed. He was a vegan. Like, so it wasn't no problem for him. He didn't do the meat. He didn't do the dairy. And again, he married like-minded women who didn't really come in and just about why you gotta have this woman and why this, why their mind, they thought a lot alike. So it wasn't really that much of a stress for him. So when you marry, it's called intersexual mate selection. When you make sure the right mate chooses you, because sometimes when you go out there trying to find a mate, you do, like I said, you overlook over the red flags. When you make sure that you know your person, and you know your mate, everything falls in line. Hey, big bro.
If you already shot us something in Cash App, press 1.
You are.
We count heads. We count heads. If you already shot us something in Cash App, press 1. Y'all heard what I said.
You are.
I said, if you already shot her something in Cash App, or you intend to shoot her something in Cash App, when this is over, press 1 and make your word your bond. We're going to pause right here for a second. We're going to pause right here.
You're going to keep me up to midnight. I got to get up in the morning.
Oh no, I'm just passing the plate around like they do in church. You pass the you put something in the church plate for some ham hocks, you know what I'm saying, and a 2-minute brother and a 2 pumps and done brother. So this sister right here just gave y'all all the game, and y'all ain't gonna drop nothing in the Cash App. Shit, not tonight. Somebody gonna show some look. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I see some, because I want her to come back. I want her to come back and be like,
I don't mind talking about this, regardless if I don't get it or not. I like talking about it because it's needed. I think it'll help a lot of. I think it will help the future of our children more so, because that's what's going to make the future world anyway. You know, it'll help. Like you said, a lot of these children are coming from broken homes, and you know they're just following the cycle.
We got a question. How do you prepare oneself for, he said international mate selection, but I know he meant to say intersexual mate selection. He had a typo. They tried to auto correct it because that word is not even in Google or iPhone. So please assist the brother. Hold on. That brother, hopefully he putting something in your Cash App, because every question from here on out is a Cash App question. So if you asking something from here on out, Cash App. Okay, how does one prepare themselves for an intersexual mate selection? And you just said making sure that the right person chooses you. The floor is yours, Grandmaster.
Oh, gosh. It's basically you just displaying a certain type of behavior, truthful behavior, so that person is attracted to you, not your representative, like what I heard this weekend in services. Not your representative. Show them who you are, and that will definitely attract the person that you need to be with. You don't need to show a horrible first impression. You don't need to show them your representative. Don't show them your representative. Show them who you are. You know, display this trait that you want your mate to be attracted to, and eventually you definitely get the person for you. I mean, it's simple. It's not hard. It's really not complicated. It's not rocket science. It's simple. Stop hiding who you are. A lot of us hide who we are because, like, you know what, I'm not going to show this person who I am really. I'm not going to say this because I'm afraid this person might not like me. Let them know who you are. Just let them know who you are. And if they don't like who you are, because eventually they're going to know who you are. Eventually they're going to find out who you really are. So why not show them who you are in the begin with? That's just my opinion. I don't know.
You're going to stop saying that. You're going to stop saying that. We doing really well. We working really well here. But you ain't going to come on here talking about this my opinion. You're not going to play small over here. You're not going to play small. You the unicorn. You ain't got to do that over here. These wise, these jewels. I don't be taking notes for regular folks. Okay?
Thank you.
Damn Cash App better be buzzing right now. Somebody's, and the other thing about, this ain't rocket science. Honey, you grew up in it, okay? Mind you, those of y'all just watching this, you better go back to the beginning. She tripping a little bit. You grew up in a whole culture of seeing it perfect. So for you, it ain't rocket science, because remember what happens in the first 7 years of life, that's your child psychology. So you already seen it 7, 14, 21. You get married, it don't work. You get to come back and see it some more. Come on, man. Come on now. No, come on now. Come on now. So then somebody says, did you get jealous at any time of Ro?
Who?
Is that for you? Who is Ro?
That was the name of my sister. That's the nickname of my sister wife at that time.
Oh, okay.
I actually did. I did, but it didn't make me angry of her. I did get jealous of her because there's something small. I felt that I couldn't match her. With her being there for 13 years, I'm like, who am I to come in and think that, I can give him what she has already given him? So I was like, dang, she's got 13 solid concrete years with this man. Like, what can I do? So that was my jealous moment of her. It was small, but I was really jealous of that. Like, dang, you've been with this man for 13 years. Like, what can I come in? What can I bring to the table?
Was that just at the beginning, or was that like through the relationship?
No, just in the beginning.
Oh, okay, good. So how did you get past it?
I saw the qualities that I had in myself, and they both understood what I brought in. And, they valued me and what I brought to the table. So I was like, okay, I'm popping a little bit.
My man said, Baba said, not for the fearful either, only the courageous. Would you agree with that? Would you say that polygyny is for the courageous or for the timid?
Oh, no, polygyny is for the courageous, I would say.
And why would you say that?
Because it's difficult. It's tough. It's tough for the male in the sense of he has to deal with two women, because we are complicated creatures. We can be at times. So it would be, if he's not mentally strong, he would fool. If he has two women that are not like-minded, that are nagging, like, dang, you spent this amount of time with her, you did this with her, why are you not doing this with me? You did this with her. It will break him. It will break him, and it's for the strong-minded woman also to not be jealous all the time. It is. You have to overlook that. You have to look at the bigger picture. How can we build him? Because at the end of the day, like you said, the black man is the one who has the target on the back. We are not the one that's targeted. Black women are not as targeted as black men are. So we have to help him come together and help this man, not just make him feel defeated because, I can't give to this one as much as I gave to you. Build him up. That'll give him the energy and the drive and the determination to give you what he gave her. I mean, you have to be really, really selfless to be in polygyny. You can't be selfish at all. Polygyny is practiced with selfless people in mind.
I'm about to let you go. I'm not keeping on 12 o'clock. You act like it was like 11:30. Cut it out. Is the portrayal of this lifestyle in the media, even from black people, is it an accurate representation of the practice or lifestyle?
What's that question again?
Ms. Parker said, is the portrayal of this lifestyle in the media, even from black people, is it an accurate representation of the practice or lifestyle?
No, because a lot of men, they don't practice it the way it should be practiced. They don't. They just look at the part, well, okay, polygyny, yeah, I'm entitled to have 2 wives or 3 wives, and that's it. So no, it's not being practiced.
Victoria said, what about,
No, go ahead.
Victoria said, what about views on a woman who is highly sexual from a polygynous standpoint?
I don't believe that a woman should practice polygamy, because that is what it is when a woman has more than one husband or more than one male. That causes confusion, because at the end of the day, who's the alpha male? Who's going to be the alpha male in your lifestyle? Who are you going to answer to? Which husband are you going to answer to? Regardless if it's, regardless of the sex part, at the end of the day, which man are you going to answer to?
You want my regular question or you want devil's advocate? Pick one.
It doesn't matter.
Devil's advocate is why she got to answer to either one of them. Now, let's just put that out the window. We ain't entertaining that. Now, what if she says I got 2 alpha males, and she says I answer to both of them?
That's impossible. I mean, I'm confused, but that's impossible to answer to both of them. What if? I mean, let me throw out a second great question. What if he says I want you tonight, and the other one says I want you tonight? Where's she going?
3-way.
If they're alpha males, who's gonna accept that as an alpha male?
Remember, in Atlanta, this is a swing community. Some women is like, yo, 2 men, me having sex with both men at the same time. And she sat down and talked about it at the beginning of the relationship. And she said, boy, her head is just mini shaking right now. She don't care what I'm about to say. They already talked about it. This is a scenario I'm creating. They already talked about it. And both men were like, if you want to have sex with both of us at the same time, then okay. I know that's foreign to you because you've never seen that, but that's out here.
Okay, a real alpha male is not going to allow that. There's one alpha male, and the other one. Shut up.
Come on, come on. Raw blunt, please. Raw blunt. Roll it up.
No, go ahead. He's not a real alpha male then. He's another type of male if he allowed that. I don't know a straight alpha male that's gonna allow that. I just don't. I never met him. He's curious. Gotta be. I'm just saying. Why would you allow that if you're an alpha male? I don't know.
Wait a minute. Are you insinuating that a woman who has sex with 2 men, that one of the men is like Fred Sanford say? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know a man with a capital M with the title alpha male is going to allow his woman to be humbled by another man. I don't know that. I just never heard or seen that.
Listen, you just gave it all the clarity right there, because you just separated it from his woman to just something that he just hitting on the side. Something that he just, let me clean it up. Maybe for something that's in his stable, some men say. You know what I'm saying? She not my main chick. She in my stable, so I can share her. Because that's going on out here too. My goodness. No, yes it is. Yes. Okay, hold on, because
I agree. I believe it. I believe everything goes now in 2020. I believe it. No, so polyandry is not something you accept? No, I don't accept polyandry.
What did she, I mean, how can she ask you, like, do you accept it? What do you mean, like, what do you mean, do you accept it? Like,
is it something that I practice? Is it something that I believe is right? Right, you're right. I should have asked for clarity. What do you mean?
Yeah, but you're saying it don't work for you. You're not practicing that.
It's not that it don't work for me. I never tried it, and I don't believe that it's something that a woman should do.
Now you going real general here, you know, because if a man says you women such and such, the woman will look at us and be like, don't be comparing me to nobody else. But now you just said I don't feel that women should do that. That's why you the unicorn. Team Virgo, August 24th, y'all. Back up off of her. I ain't even pulled a chart yet to see what her human design is. But I will be as soon as I get off this phone, though. You know you just getting finished your, you're on the backside of your Uranus opposition. I have to compensate you. I don't know if you even mess with astrology like that, but whenever you want to get this complimentary reading that I have for you, you just press the button. I'm trying to tell you, this one is on me. You can get it. I'm telling you, like, we can talk about your finances. If you need some help with branding or marketing, you're already doing the t-shirts. I want in on some of that because I seen the site. I have some things that I have some feedback I'd like to give you. You know what I'm saying? So we can add some zeros to your monthly bottom line. Who else? Takes courage to be honest, takes courage to be vulnerable. I don't think anyone who lacks a spiritual foundation could be successful in a poly relationship. Ooh, that's facts. That's hard. Ooh, yes. It takes courage to look within yourself, know yourself, and be yourself. Ooh, my goodness gracious. What Africa Soul says, this is my boo. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Ooh, wait a minute. Somebody calling you they boo, Atara?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a sister, Africa Soul. She chocolate and fine too. I keep a lot of fine women around me, so I'm just looking like, oh, you're like, oh, this is my boo. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't recognize the screen.
It's okay. I see a lot of booms because she wants to. She answers to herself. Using these situations, the woman marries brothers. Ooh. She makes the calls. You can't serve two masters. Somebody said that's a fight. Then somebody says can only be one alpha. She's picking her favorite for the night. That's what Victoria says. If both of them say I want you for the night, it was like she picking her favorite. One provides something the other cannot. Ooh. Atara, you want to respond to that?
What was it?
She says she's picking her favorite for the night. One provides something the other cannot.
To be honest, I don't really touch that topic, polyandry. I just don't.
Physically Fit came in with a good alley-oop. He said, what if she gets pregnant? Who is the father? Uh-oh. What we gonna do about that?
Right.
What we gonna do about that piece?
I mean, obviously she's gonna go get a DNA test to find out who's the daddy. I mean, it's just a bunch of confusion. That's just confusion.
Some Roz said, why wouldn't it simply be the first husband? If she got two husbands and both of them say, I want you for that night, the first husband, he got dibs because he been there the longest.
Like I said, that'll work for her. It just wouldn't work for me. I don't even want to discuss that. It just don't work for me.
Then somebody said she's going to have to submit to one and be aggressive with the other, which is what most like to do. Ooh. What do you think about that? Some women are out here getting two men because they want one man to choke them, and then they want to choke the other man.
It's true. Eventually, it'll get to that. Eventually, it will lead to that because sexual pleasure has a limit. After that, you're gonna expect more from this alpha male, right? After a while, you're gonna expect more, and if he's not providing for your expectations, you're gonna be aggressive to him. I'm just saying.
Hold it. You about to give us some regular relationship jewels right here. Let's put the mono and the poly aside. When women are becoming aggressive toward any man, is that because that man is not delivering something she wants? Is that what you're insinuating? Or is that only in relationships?
She's not happy with something. It's something she's not happy with. It could be something she's not happy with in herself, but that's most of the time. Most of the time, women don't lash out at their men because they're not happy with themselves. Most of the time, they lash out at their mate because he's doing something wrong. He's lacking in some area.
Atara is the Cash App, y'all. Roz said the first husband is the alpha male. No. Supposed to be, maybe, I guess. Oh, Baba said one of them is not an alpha. Facts. Interesting take. Baba said we weren't gonna fight. I think only alphas can be that confident. That's what your boo said. Alphas want what they want when they want it. She said no to another man. She out the door. So polyandry is something you accept. I guess that's a question to you. Polyandry.
No.
Okay, so you already answered that one. My bad. Come on, screen, get it together. Stop acting like an iPhone. She said, thank you for the clarity. Yeah, what if she gets pregnant? Who will be the father? You said, what if she has two alpha males? Oh, he was asking me that. If two alpha males, you know, man, I'm just telling you, this my, now, I know I'm finna lose some folks here. Somebody's gonna get upset. I gotta close my eyes. Some things that we want out of relationships that are unrealistic is because of mental instability and poor mental health. There, I said it. Everybody's afraid to say that. I said it. There's a mental health issue for some of the things that you want when you acting like a child, when you're saying, I just want it because I want it, and then ain't no other reason. Now on the 27th of December, what happens? The child ain't even interested in it no more. But now you done got in this lease with something this person has now invested into you, but because of your mental instability or your poor mental health or your lack of mental and spiritual maturity, you wanting to get somebody to, you can just see how you can manipulate them.
Or the lack of spiritual health. A lot of people haven't healed.
Do you have a coaching service? You have a coaching service too, right? Don't you have a coaching service?
Every Saturday, yes.
How much is it?
What do you mean?
Coaching, like I coach. I used to be Coach Kai. I coach people.
Coaching? No, yeah. I don't have a coaching service. I thought you said coaching service. No, I don't have a coaching service. No, I don't. Oh gosh.
Because you're gonna think I'm biased. Let's just poll the audience. For those of you who've been here for a second, if you think that Atara should be coaching and be getting paid for it, please press 5. That means you raising your hand. I'm just gonna see because, you know, what do I know? I don't know nothing. You know, I'm just regular Joe Schmo. I'm gonna see how many 5s pop up. Let me see here. That was my whole point. A pregnant woman can only service one man sexually. In the last trimester, she might not be trying to service nobody. She might be like, go ahead somewhere. I'm about to give birth to a basketball. Go see your sister wife.
There you go. There you
go. She ready for some good game. She worked at what? I don't know what. Did you work at Wax?
I used to cater to Wax, yes. Not as a performer, but I used to cater food to the.
What is Wax?
It's a gentleman's club.
Okay, so she did security at the gentleman's club. That's where she know you from.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know who that is. Now you straight. Now you done got it cleared up.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's why they marry brother. That's why women can't have more than one alpha. Polyandry increases the nation at a faster race. I mean, polygyny increases the nation at a faster rate. Exactly. You give birth to more soldiers to defend the perimeter. Right. Duh. Sexual pleasure has no limit. Boy, they getting it in out here. I'm catching up. What is it? Hold up. She said, you put me on the poly game. So you put her on the poly game.
We used to talk about polygyny.
Oh.
That was, Lord, that was about 4 years ago.
That wasn't that long ago. That girl got a good memory. That woman has a good memory. Excuse me. I didn't mean it like that. I see some fives. I see a lot of fives. A lot of fives here. Fives. A lot of fives out here. Other women will listen better to another woman. Toxic masculinity, narcissism are phrases associated with poly lifestyle. Is that perspective relevant, or is that a false claim? Or can you speak on this labeling, please?
Again, the way our men have mispracticed this practice would lead other people to think that these men are narcissists, which is true. Because they come in with this notion that, you know, they could just do whatever they want. I run the house. You do what I say. You know, I get what I want whenever I want because I can. Then, yeah, these men are narcissists. You know, even to the point where these men, if they don't get what they want, they switch the blame on the woman and they start blaming everybody else. Most of these women that behave this way are not healed from their past childhood, from whatever happened in the past, they aren't healed. So yes, they come in with this narcissistic behavior, this egotistical, horrible behavior in polygyny, and that's one of the reasons why polygyny has this bad name. Horrible. But
now, what about the woman who exercises the same thing just for power? That's what I was talking about when she weaponizes her vagina. Would that be a narcissist?
I would agree to that as well. I would, but yeah, I would.
Gotta be mature and responsible. Let people go when you know they're not built for that life, which is what you told me.
Or don't even start the relationship when you know they're not built for this type of life. Why entertain it? Why bring people in and you know they're not ready for it? They're not built for it. You're just going to destroy offspring. You're going to destroy that person. You're going to turn that person bitter. Don't even start it. Why start it? In the beginning, you should let everybody know what you're into. Like I said, I heard from someone this weekend, and you know, during my Sabbath services, don't allow people to meet your representative. Allow them to meet who you are. Regardless, if you feel that you're going to turn them off, then hey, that person isn't meant for you. Let them know from the jump who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you're into, what you're not into. Don't surprise them. For what? I'm just saying.
No, because of what I'm about to say. So earlier you said, and one thing that I've heard in the co-wives is a woman should pick a married man who has a good, they were saying married men, it's easier for them to have a chick on the side because they have a proven track record. The chick on the side or the second wife, the one who's undercover or the one who's going to the other wife are both saying, yo, I see that you know how to handle this. You got jokers in junior high school. You got jokers in high school. You got jokers getting cars. There's 3 cars in the driveway. This y'all's second house. Y'all got investment properties. You know what I'm saying? This is all good. But then you got us single brothers out here. I can't say, ask my wife how much I've done for her in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, any years, because I ain't married. I don't have an ex-wife. But I can see the brother who's married, when he stepped to a shorty or she holler at him, he'd be like, look, you can get into this if you want to, but this is what you're getting into. I have seen that when I say things like that, it's always a why do you want that? It's always asking me, why do you want that? And I'm like, well, I know myself, and I'm just being honest with my particular habits. Now, I don't do cocaine no more. I don't smoke weed no more. I don't even drink socially no more. Those are bad habits. But the habits of me being a flirt, me being very social, I'm really attractive because my daddy was a beast and my mama was so fine when she was in her 20s and 30s. So my mama pushed out a king. So I'm supposed to have women, you know what I'm saying, attracted to me. And I'm supposed to respond with my nature. Why are you asking me, why am I like that? What I'm gathering from this conversation is continue to let them know that, first off, I'm not looking for two wives at the same time. That's absolutely out. I'm going to need you to speak to that too. Should a man try to go and just grab him? Should a single man try to go grab two of them at one time and go do that? Or should he do it is it a step-by-step process? In your opinion, this time you get in your opinion. So what's your opinion on that?
In my opinion, unless two women approach you at the same time and say, we're ready to be your wives, don't do it. Because as a woman, we are jealous beings, and we can be. And a man should be able to get this one wife and spend time with her, get to know her, get to know who she is, and spend time with that one person. Even in the Bible, it speaks about. Go ahead.
No. Finish the Bible. Now I ain't jumping from the Bible, but I'm raising my hand for myself because I gotta hold my point. Go ahead.
I mean, when the man went to war and they got this new wife, he has to spend a year with her, getting to know her, allowing her to mourn her family because he took her from her family, allowing to, just to get to know this woman that you got. So like I said, unless, which is rare, you have two women approach you at the same time and say, we want to be your wife. Just take away our reproach as being a single woman, as being, being left out there to fend for ourselves. Just take us on as your wives. Unless you have that, it's not wise. It wouldn't be wise to do that.
I'm not afraid of much, but I'm weary of one thing. And maybe I need to do some healing over it. The last time I was pregnant, my partner had a miscarriage. Mm-hmm. And then after the miscarriage, I was super all in. I was like, yo, we finna do this. And then I was like, and when we came together before, when she was pregnant, it was like, it's an open relationship. We poly, it's all good, right? And so it was on a Valentine's Day, and I had met a young lady right before that, and I was like, I'm finna step out. You know what I'm saying? You doing something, I'm going to step out. And when I came back the next day, she was pouty, right? And I was like, what you pouty about? And she was like, to be honest, see, first off, you shouldn't even have to say that, because if we've been together, you shouldn't even have to start out your sentences to be honest. That means you was lying. She says, I just told you that because I wanted to be with you. And I was so angry, Atara. I was so angry. I have not been that angry in a long time. Wow. I hit her with the get out of my face. Now, I don't know about all other men. I can't say that. But when I tell you to get out of my face, and I loved you, provided for you, you was pregnant with twins with me, and now I tell you to get out of my face, boy, you lower than dirt. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm just like, could that happen to me again? Where I'd be like, look, I'm feeling you, but I definitely do not want two at one time. I already said, like, the maximum for me would be 4, but over the next 2 years, it definitely can't be more than 2, because I got too many plans. Me and the first one, you got to get assimilated to me and this long ass schedule I have to get out here off the muscle. But when year 2 or 3 comes, and I should just stay in the moment, I'm really processing and coaching myself through this right now. Thank you for holding space. It's like, what happens when we get to the 2 years or something? Because women going to be swarming. They swarm now, but if they see me married and they know that, yo, he open to another wife, they're going to be swarming. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm just getting to know her right now. Boom. Then when I finally say, boo, is it okay? Can we open the gates up? It's some, some jokers out here, it's some candidates out here knocking. And then she pulled the What you need that for? Or she just started trying to pull veto. No, not her. 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 What do we do about if a woman just starts trying to pull the veto, no, not her power? Has that ever happened? Or is that or am I tripping? Now, if I'm tripping, just say you tripping.
No, you're not tripping. Then that's when you switch. Then you switch it on her and ask her, okay, so what's your type? You ask her what's her type.
I asked her what her type was when we started. And before I ring you up, I'm gonna already ask you what your type is, because I'm gonna tell you down the line that's an excellent possibility.
That's a tough one. She wasn't true. She wasn't honest and truthful from the begin with.
Somebody said petty spirit, competitive spirit, but the answer just got downloaded to me. So I do a reading on that ass, not an astrology reading either. So this is where I have to want to explain real fast, because for my students, there's a difference between astrology readings and divination. Astrology reading tells you the when and the best time. Divination gives you the insight. And astrology should lead you to your divination, which is why I tell y'all you need that formula. You need astrology, you need divination, and you need ritual magic all together. That's the combination. You can't just lean on just one. They all need to work together collectively for you to make stuff, because that's what your so-called enemy is using. That joker is using ritual magic, divination, and astrology to continue to be wealthy, to continue to make his lineage stronger and stronger and stronger, to make sure he handles all his issues. That's the formula. So, yeah, that's my opinion. And that's what works for me. And that's what my house is going to run off of. So you're right. I just do a divination and be like, yo, is this the one? Somebody said energy and intention. So I'm going to let you go, but I need 1 minute and 47 seconds for you to watch this video. And then you're going to tell me what you think of this video right here.
Pushing for monogamy. And then when a bitch get in a relationship, you don't understand. By asking this man to not fuck nobody else, by asking this man to not call nobody else, by asking this man to not look at another woman for none of his wants and needs as far as male to female, you are then saying, I'm going to be whatever you need me to be, nigga, because I don't want, but y'all don't understand that. Y'all just think that's how it's supposed to be, because that's what the media and the movies and your man in them taught you. Like, that's what y'all think. Y'all, like, truth be told, if up front, a bitch told you, these are all the things you're going to have to do, girl, in order to lock this nigga in like you want to, half of y'all wouldn't even want the nigga after that. But you never sit down and actually really consider, what does it take to be fucking Ray Ray's girlfriend? What does it take to be Michael's wife? Like, what type of demons do this nigga really got? What type of sex drive do he really got if he left every other bitch alone and only fucks with me? What type of things will he want out of me? Y'all be want a nigga that's rich and a freak and got a great personality, but is low-key, don't talk to nobody, but is a people person, but is like, y'all want all this shit. And girl, if you actually had to entertain that nigga non-stop by yourself, bitch, you be a circus monkey. The way you would have to suck dick on Tuesday, swing from the ceiling fan on Thursday, be a fucking stripper on Friday, because the nigga like pole dancing on the weekend. Like, the way you'd have to cook on Sunday, turn around on Monday, and like y'all don't even know the half. And y'all be so quick to want a nigga to just lock in on you. Do you even have enough going on for you to be a person everything? Women be the main ones pushing for monogamy. And then when a bitch hit...
All righty.
No. That was real, raw truth. It's true. I mean, I said it PG. I said it G in my last video. We can't, ooh, Lord have mercy. We can't fulfill every desire that these men need. We just can't. We can't fulfill his every desire. And whether we want to accept it or not, we just can't. And it's so true. Wait, send me that video if you can, please, so I can finish listening to it.
That was it. That was just a clip. It was 1 minute and 47 seconds, but I will do whatever you ask me. I will send you this clip. And then, because this was from the Black Polygamy channel. This was from the Black Polygamy channel. Wait a minute, listen. So I had to ask the person who sent it to me, go find who this is, because on the Black Polygamy channel, they didn't tag her. So then the person went and found her. And then, so I will send you her page and I will send you this link. But I want you to, like, on my next video, we're going to go and analyze some of these black polygamy pages. It's sisters out here advertising like, I'm 32 years old, I'm in Houston, Texas, I'm looking for 2 kings, whoop wop, whoop wop, whoop wop. Yes. Don't trust me, it's out here.
Well,
it's out here.
I know it is.
Wait. Uh-oh. Roz says, who can't? Roz is saying that she can. Is that what you're saying, Roz? Is that what, Roz, are you saying that you can fulfill a man's every desire? Is it a woman on here who feels that way? Not just Roz, but is it a woman on here? Because y'all ain't got to agree with Atara. She said this is her opinion. And it's also the sister we just showed that said, hey, listen, you can't be that. You can be a circus monkey.
It's true.
Oh, never mind. She said, just kidding. She said, never mind, just kidding. Okay. I was about to say, what's up? It's something we don't know about Roz. It's something that Atara missed. Atara's still learning to this game. So, but I mean, she got it kind of sold up with 40-some years of experience, and her daddy's still living and still doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We need to put his Cash App in here. Next time we'll put his Cash App in here. So he'll get up the next morning and be like, baby, I woke up this morning and my Cash App was just ringing. So you got it tonight. The next time we do a show, make sure you get your daddy's Cash App. Just be like, Daddy, what's your Cash App? Yes. I have a generous family. I want to have a generous. I'm only gonna be in a generous family. Women supposed to receive. You just got finished and he supposed to provide finances. Then you over here shaking your head. Nod your head to what the universe gives you. Whatever you was doing, how much money did people pay you for that polygyny video that you did on YouTube? Did you get some money off of that? No, I'll answer, because it ain't got enough views on it and you ain't got enough subscribers. So it's going to come to you. When the Most High, when Yahweh wants you to get it, nod your head. Stop acting like a normal black person and be like, oh, okay, Yahweh sending me this bread for whatever you feel like doing with it. All right? Thank you very much. I think that's about it right there. We're going to let not an alpha male king. There's many super single men out here. What? Oh, she said it's many super simple men out here. I think some of these ladies out here are not ready to commit to a, check this out. My grandmaster in martial arts and tantra, his name was Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati. And I always ask people, what's the definition for water? Atara, what's the chemical formula for water?
H2O.
And ain't nobody gonna argue about that, right?
Right.
How high is a basketball goal? 10 feet.
About
everywhere. 10 feet.
Okay.
10 feet everywhere, right? Nobody's gonna argue about that. But when you ask certain words, an argument starts. When you say, what is love? There's an argument. There's all these different answers. When you say, what is trust? There's all these different answers. But the other word is committed. So some people try to be slick and they say committed. Their definition of committed is exclusive. If we're in a committed relationship, that's my property between your legs, is what the running definition of committed is. But my teacher taught me another definition that I roll with, and it is a committed relationship is when two people are committed to the practice. Because the relationship is a practice. Yeah. It's a spiritual practice. It's a mental practice. It's an emotional practice. And both parties must be committed to it. Mm-hmm. This is when you get into Tantra. If I show up to practice the relay race every day, but you only come twice a week. When it's my turn to give you the baton, you're going to be slow running your leg. So in Tantra, the hearts exchange. You're sitting in Yab-Yum, the woman is sitting in your lap, you're inside of her, the foreheads are touching, you're doing the microcosmic orbit breath, and then the hearts change places. If I've been doing my work and my heart space is nice and comfy, got bean bags in it, cool alkaline water, nice fresh vegetables, and your heart comes over here, your heart is going to be like, ah, feels so comfortable over here. But if you ain't been doing the work and I go over there and leave my comfy house and go over to your heart space and it's got darkness, it's got Coca-Cola, it's got pig's feet, it's got bad beef, then my heart is going to be shocked when I go over there because I ain't used to that. That's what committed relationship is. And I think, this is what I say. This is my truth. I scare women away when I say, absolutely, I'm ready for a committed relationship. And then I tell them the definition, like, I practice. Are you practicing? So for me, when I'm dating, I'm practicing for being in a committed relationship. It ain't about sampling the cake and all that. You can be with Ozzy, what was it, Ozzy and Harriet? They was like, man, we've been together 50 years and we just not figuring out who each other is. So one thing I don't do is I don't care about your body count. What they got to do with me? Them people you know from prior lifetimes. What your body count is your business. Is how we gonna interact when we get together. Have you been practicing with them dudes or have you been castrating them dudes? Have you been loving them dudes up? Can I talk to the last 4 dudes you was with and they give me a good resume check? Because you can talk to the last 4 chicks I talked to. They all meditating now. They wasn't meditating before. They can do candle magic. They can do rituals. They didn't even know what Tantra was. They studying astrology. So for me, that's how I feel. The last chick, she broke up. I was just like, dang, you got me. You ain't learned no astrology. You ain't picked up no magic from me. I was like, I let you down. You can say whatever you want, but you should be, and I say this and people get upset, I say, you should be in a relationship to make the person better for their next relationship. And that way, y'all gonna be together longer. Because if I keep, like you just said, if you keep trying to lift me up, so when I go to the next relationship, I'm even better than when you met me, why would I go somewhere? Why am I gonna go somewhere with somebody that's steady investing in me versus taking it the wrong way? Oh, you want me just to get you ready for the next chick. And that's how a lot of women are. Like, oh, I'm pouring off. I sent him to law school. And now he over there giving her my money. And I sent him to law school. Well, y'all ain't supposed to be together, ho. Now I said, ho, y'all ain't supposed to be together. Because I'm calling you how you acting. Maybe you supposed to be with somebody else. Maybe that's a karmic debt you owe this joker. Maybe he done put you through and saved your life 15, 16 times in past lifetimes, and now you supposed to give back to him. Those are those anal retentive folks that I can't stand, especially women. I can't stand the anal retentive woman who swear everything supposed to be by her. Just give it to me. Give it to me. You know, I did this for my last relationship. I did this for my last relationship. I did this. Put something in your mouth.
We overlook our first job given to us. Our first job given to women was to be a helpmate. Help him. Just help him. We overlook.
Atara, what if the nigga dog you out though? What if he dog you out?
What do you mean? I'm not supposed to help him?
That's right. Well, that's what a lot of women, a lot of your sisters be like, he dogged me out. I ain't helping now another nigga.
I'm talking about while you're in the relationship. If you have your husband in that relationship and he's not, let's say he's not dogging you out. But in her mind, she's like, well, he's supposed to do for me too. He's supposed to do me, just me. Okay, you're supposed to help him. Not saying he's not supposed to help you, but that is our job. That's our first job, is to help your mate.
What's the man's first job?
is to be a man and provide.
Can you tell me your without the providing, how do you recognize a man when you see him walking down the street, Atara?
Well, you can't see it from the outside. You really
Come
can't.
on now.
You can't see it from the outside.
How do you, okay then, well, how do you detect a man, Atara?
Well, you know what? You can. There are certain things that women look that they look at. There are certain things they look at. His clothes, you know, the way he speaks, where does he work, you know, how he behaves with his parents, how he behaves with other people. You know, those are certain things that you look at. I'm just saying, I don't know.
You know I done wrote your book for you tonight. If you go back and replay this and transcribe it, this is going in the book.
Oh man. It's crazy. Okay, next time. It's late.
Go on and say it and conclude it. Go on and let that last one out.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We just need to be selfless. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Who is we?
Women. We have to eradicate that selfless behavior, mentality, thought process, everything.
White Jesus, old Messiah. That's what I be saying too. White Jesus got y'all, my black sisters, like a nigga supposed to be coming in like he's Superman. Superman, I can understand Superman work ethic, be able to be strong, have great stamina. But for you to always be a damsel that needs saving, you keeping me from empire building so I can contribute to humanity.
Not only that, if you, for those of you who read the Bible, if you read Proverbs 31, that woman did a lot of work. That Proverbs 31 woman, she was a hard worker. So she brought in just as many bags as the husband did.
I like it when you be talking about the bags. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like Proverbs 31, huh?
She worked. She worked. That woman worked.
The whole Proverbs 31, or you got a particular verse?
I'm not too sure exactly where it begins. It's in the beginning, in the middle of the chapter. Somebody help me out.
I got you. It's already out. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth say truth, trust in her, so that he shall have no need or spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. Ooh, with the fruit of her hand she planteth a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. I know you can break that down, but not right now. She layeth her hands on the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the pool, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. Oh my God. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles upon the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to her ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own work praise her in the gates. Are you familiar? Have you ever read the Circle 7 Quran?
No, I haven't. But I wrote a book, and I didn't want to mention this. I did write a book. It's very novice. It's something that I wrote years ago, and I believe I quoted that book.
What's the name of the book, and where can people find it? Is it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon. It is called
What's the name of it?
The Ancient Science of Love. There's two on there. One for, I think one is either $19.99 or one is $14.99. I don't know why there's two on there. I'm gonna have to remove one.
The Ancient Science of Love.
I believe I quoted it in that book, and I also wrote another book.
Wait. We got to find the first one first. And what's the author? And your name is in it?
Well, my ex-husband's name is on the book, but I co-wrote the book with him. My name is on the second book.
No, the first one, The Ancient Science of Love. Who name on the cover?
I'm going to type it in. It's a long name.
No, tell me now. I'm typing right now. My hand's on here. You ain't got to do no work. I'm working right now.
Nasi. And just it's a space YASHUVEL. It should automatically come up once you type the title in on Amazon.
Yes, I see it. 1602. Nazi Yashuvel ben Zavuyan.
Yes.
A handbook to, y'all know how I do. There it is. Get over to Amazon right now, y'all. A handbook to a divine relationship through love and sex by Nazi Yashuvel ben Zavulan. I know I'm tearing the last name up. My apologies. And I'm glad that the used copy is the same price as this right here. So this is yours, and then what's the second one?
Queen Sacrifice.
Oh my God, you finna get all the way beat up over that one.
Now that book, actually both books were written.
Queen's Sacrifice or Queen Sacrifice?
Queen Sacrifice.
Apostrophe S, Queens, or just Queen's S?
Right there. There it is. The Queen Sacrifice.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up on it. Let me add this to my list. Drop that like it's hot. Okay, I see them for $44 over here too. Kindle, $19.99. I love it. That's right. Don't give
what's wrong? That's a mass. Gotta be a mass price.
Huh?
I don't know where that $44 come from. That might be
what you mean? That's what they need. They can pay that. They got money. They buying weed. They buy weed and weave. They can buy this for $44. I have several books upstairs that I paid more than $1,000 for. So why can't I pay $44 for this? Bet. Y'all see the title? Act like y'all know. Support somebody. Y'all were talking about support black businesses and stuff. She wrote it. Get on it. Intuition, The Lost Priestesshood, Great Expectation, The World of Girls, Watch the Signs. Okay, I gotta give you this one right here. I don't know exactly where you quoted. You said you quoted this in one of the books, but it's okay.
I quoted that. I remember that. I remember that book. I remember quoting it somewhere. Was it Noble Drew Ali?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, see, I remember. I just don't remember which book it was.
This how I be scaring folks away. I be like, yo, this gonna be I tell you early. You know what? That's what I absolutely should do. I should just be like, you know, if you marry me, this is gonna be in the wedding vows. She'd be like, damn, that's gonna be long as hell. It is. It's gonna be some Proverbs 31. He gonna have to put that book down, and he gonna pick up the Circle 7. He gonna have to read 3 chapters out of that. Because it's got my responsibilities and her responsibilities in there. Right. Marriage instructions for man and wife from the Noble Prophet, chapter 22. Ooh, give ear, fair daughter of love. I'm very dramatic when I read this, so it's all good. Give ear. Was this the one you quoted? Give ear, fair daughter of love, to the instructions of prudence, and let the precepts of truth sink deep in thy heart. So shall the charms of thy mind add luster to the elegance of thy form, and thy beauty, like the rose it resembleth, shall retain its sweetness when its bloom is withered. Now, I did a whole 3-hour podcast on how this particular book and these 3 chapters is Tantra. This whole thing he's describing is Tantra. This in his way when he wrote it. Key 2, in the spring of thy youth, in the morning of thy days, when the eyes of men gaze on thee with delight, and nature whispereth in thine ear the meaning of their looks. Ah, hear with caution their seducing words. Guard well thy truth, nor listen to their soft persuasions. Remember thou art made man's reasonable companion, not the slave of his passion. The end of thy being is not merely to gratify his loose desires, but to assist him in the toils of life, to soothe his heart with thy tenderness and recompense his care with soft endearments. Ladies, if you just follow key 3, you'll have a gorilla. You have a silverback, gorilla, Rottweiler, pit bull, black deadly cobra on your side. And every woman who comes in, if she does just that, he gonna provide protection some way, shape, or form for all of y'all. The provisions, there will be cup runneth over. I'm just gonna tell you, the cup will run. And guess what? You don't have to understand it because you don't understand electricity. That's a lot of things. I said for people who do mushrooms, and a lot of people be asking a lot of questions when they're on mushrooms that they don't have no business answering. How does this work? Why am I thinking this? That's personal right there. I just sat for somebody the other night and they went through all of this and they couldn't quiet their mind, right? And so just number 3, you don't understand how electricity works when you turn the switch, but it happens. If you do these things in a relationship, provisions will damn near be like manna from heaven. But you got to do your part first. What it say? Faith without works is dead. I'm going to have me a good man. I'm going to have me a good man. Well, what's your attitude? What's your work ethic? How you gonna keep him? Oh, when you said that earlier today too, I want to just add this little piece on here. Ladies, we don't want a piece. We want peace. We don't want PIECE. We want PEACE. And if I sneak out or go do whatever, ladies, I want you to be clear. You got beat out by a chick who had peace to offer your man. Peace is the #1 thing that can get your man away from you. Ladies, whoever's offering the most peace in 2020 is going to be the winner.
Yeah, factual.
Oh, wait a minute. I think the sister just said truth and factual to what I just said.
True.
I done had pieces. I'm straight. Not that I'm going to be celibate the rest of my life. I still have some of my best years in front of me. But however, I want peaceful peace too. I want peaceful peace. One of my things is I can't be laying beside no time bomb. Oh,
A ticking
don't
time.
know when. What'd you say?
I said a ticking time bomb.
A ticking time bomb with some good head and all the positions. That's, brothers, you about to blow your arm off. You can't keep getting lucky walking through the landmine. Eventually you're gonna lose a limb.
Yep.
That's a yep. She ain't have to co-sign me on that one. I'm trying to tell y'all, listen, bros, don't do it. If you can hear that red flag and that tick, what's that? Tick, tick, tick. Run out of there. And Lord knows, make sure you pull out. Make sure you just don't be leaving it up in there any kind of way. Make sure put it somewhere else. This is a raw show. Atara can't say this. She's not gonna say that, but I'll say it. Don't you do it, brothers. Don't you do it. Don't you get no time bomb pregnant, because now guess what? You done gave her some bullets. That's what kind of babies does a time bomb have? Bullets. And she'll use them against you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Who is she that winneth the heart of the man, that subdueth him to love, reigneth in his breast? Lo, yonder she walketh in maiden sweetness, with innocence in her mind and modesty in her cheek. Her hand seeketh employment. Her foot delighteth not in gadding abroad. She is clothed with neatness. She is fed with temperance. Humility and meekness are as a crown of glory circling her head. On her tongue dwelleth music. Ladies, you know what sometimes a man tell you to shut up? Because ain't no music coming out your mouth. Keep some music coming out your mouth, ladies. You can get, I always say that. You can't come to me with conflict and getting something out of me. But if you come to me with magic, it ain't no telling what you could get. Also, if you have a conflict with me and you come to me, that's spiritual immaturity. You should go pray about it. Because if I have a problem with you, I'm gonna go talk to the Creator and be like, Tamika is giving me a problem, God. What you gonna do about it? I'm your servant. Something's going on with Tamika. I need that joint to get straightened out. Why would I go to Tamika? She don't got the resources God has. I want to talk to Tamika, but if she keep on acting crazy, so that's what I say about me. If I keep acting crazy, you better go upstairs.
You got to involve the higher power.
One more time for the people in the back. What'd you say?
You have to involve the higher power. That's why we don't involve the Creator in our relationships. We think we could just do it all by ourselves. We have to involve the Creator in our relationship and everything that we do.
So you telling me the relationship that doesn't have the Creator involved is not going to be successful?
No. No, not at all.
We pray together, we stay together. That's where you from?
Yeah. We gotta be on one. We have to think the same. We have to be like-minded. I mean, that's simple. It's simple.
Submit. Oh, this is why I say key 9 is the tough one. Did you quote this one? Because this is a whole book. Submission and obedience are the lesson of her life, and peace and happiness are her reward. There's so many women, when I use the word submission, I have to duck. I have to throw up my martial arts. I have to be like, hey, I'm just reading the words. How you upset with me?
Because most of them are programmed.
Oh, damn, well, you got a good, well, you sharp. You got a sharp memory. Okay. Okay.
What do you do the next show?
Got her. Whenever you say. On Wednesdays, I have Tai Chi. Well, it's going to be after you finish homeschooling, so it's going to be after 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Unless it's on the weekend.
Right.
So whenever you say.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You can get the link on this right here. Final comments, everybody. Make sure I get them. Sharika says she really changed my whole view talking them late nights. Dead ass went from hell nah to okay, let me look into it. Everett said I just got the first book. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Then Sharika said I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab that Queens bet. Rashid said so many upgrades. Somebody else said great titles. Noble Drew Ali too. Absolutely Noble Drew Ali. What are you talking about? It used to be Khair Bay L. Just don't get it twisted, man. I got many titles. Just everybody relax. It's OE now. Don't worry about all that other stuff. I'm mad at you on the slick, sis. You should have told me. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to let y'all DM that out. Y'all DM that out. Y'all DM that out. Now that I done brought her back to you, y'all go ahead and DM that out. We ain't going to do that right here. We're gonna boost the sister up here. I don't know what that's about. I ain't going to ask. Neither I'm going to keep on scrolling. Somebody said, I'm so confused. So wait, we don't have to be circus monkeys, just peaceful? Yes. Man, listen, a circus monkey is fun, but after a while, you got to keep micromanaging a circus monkey. I can't micromanage a circus. I need the intelligence. I need to be tired. The other day, I was just about to call somebody and be like, yo, what about when I want to cry? What you going to do when I want to cry?
What? Telling the man up?
Oh, nah, you can't tell me to man up when I start crying.
That's the average woman out there. That's just man up. What you crying for? I'm just speaking from what I hear people saying. What you crying for? Man up. You supposed to be tough. No.
Well, you know what happens after that. The woman who can listen to me and can handle my tears, guess where I'm going to be at? I'm going to be over there on Thursday with my check. Okay? And then my bag, I get daily bread because I run my own company. So now her cash app just may be jumping. just because. She supposed to have an allowance. If she can handle me crying, get me back together, patch me up, and put me back in the game,
help
she
him.
getting a, what'd you say?
To just help him.
Man, boy, that cash app. Brother said, where was this conversation 30 years ago? Cats wasn't listening. A mature, evolved man values peace and peace of mind above all, not chaos. That's low-hanging fruit. Absolutely. Boy, good gracious. I used to mess with some chaos too. Woo, reverence. All right, I'm gonna head out. That's what Miss Parker said. She crazy. Great show, Enlighten 100. She says, I'm a DM you, sis. That's right. There you go. So much knowledge. Give thanks. Got the books. Yes. Cleaning up after them. I mean, she shouldn't marry no sloth anyway. If the nigga if she gotta always clean up behind him, that was something was wrong with her picking style. That's what I say. A woman can ignore red flags too. Women be ignoring red flags like a mug too. Oh my God. I have ignored some, but I've seen some women ignore some too.
I could change them. I'm telling you, I've heard it all. I'll change them.
Nah, you could guide me. You could show me a better way, and that's what I'm looking for. Well, I already got a good way. I want you to compliment the way I got. You know what I'm saying? Would I be like, yo, what I use and now got me to you? Why are you trying to change it up, player? It's not happening like that. I'm about to have a good conversation after I finish eating my bowl of cereal with some comments that I got. So I sent that video to a sister, and she sent me back like 3 videos while she was driving. And she was like, don't test my gangster. I was like, what you talking about? She was like, what she was like? She said something like, I'm needy and greedy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't share. And I was but then she hit me with the last video. She was like, I don't want to test your gangster either. So my reply was, I said, I'm about to go live. And then I was like, all this was interesting. I enjoyed it. Thank you. So I didn't even, because I know better. Men, whatever you do not reply in no text to something that you know you need to be talking about. Don't do that. Women too, that don't count. When you text somebody something and it's real serious, that don't count. That's a flag on the play right there. Because if we ain't grown enough to chop it up, then you can't that's childish that you done sent me some texts. Then I really might get off the handle and say something crazy with my fingers. My fingers, they be getting their own. They be reckless. So stop shaking your head. You don't know me. Okay. That's it for this evening. This is your first time here. How we always end it. I always tell my folks, I found you in peace. We ended in prayer. So if all of y'all, wait a minute, do you have any last words for the folks before we get out of here?
I don't, but I do. I want to thank everybody for listening and not being rude. I want to appreciate everybody. No, because people, once they hear polygyny, they're rude. A lot of people.
Queen is my house. This is my house. What you just met was my family. I introduced you to my family. Okay, I don't play that.
We got you.
It's okay, y'all. See that, y'all? As smart as the unicorn was, she got caught slipping just for a second. She thought I was a regular nigga. That she thought there was some kind of chance. She thought there was a small chance that somebody may be rude to her in my house.
I'm sorry.
No. Like you said, you just met. No. I got too many warriors in here. I got too many Shaolin monks. I keep a different company, honey. When you come over, that's why I said it's raw and blunt. You do what you want to do. I kill ants with a sledgehammer. And I got a whole posse here who down for what I'm down with.
All right, I appreciate you.
Okay, go ahead. Please finish.
I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was I enjoyed it. That's it.
We want to thank y'all.
Thank you for having me. I'm truly humbled. I really am.
Hey, it's lunch on us tomorrow. From me and from my family to yours. Go out there and get yourself something. Go and get you some nice meal tomorrow. I was about to say something. This must be late. She better have enough money in her Cash App to get something really nice tomorrow, y'all.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, and the YouTube channel. She really needs subscribers. Lord Jesus. She really needs subscribers. For those of you sisters wearing head wraps and you ain't got this stuff together, she got a channel for the head wraps, and she's selling T-shirts. Hopefully, she'll let me do some business with her because I'm looking for a T-shirt partner right now. Okay. Like really, I'm really looking.
talk.
What?
We'll definitely talk tomorrow. We'll talk.
Wait a minute. It said that Cash App don't work. What you mean that Cash App don't work? ATARAH. Y'all better drop some. I don't want to hear that. Nah, your Cash App is broke. Everybody been dropping her bread tonight. You better get that together. No, please don't come over here and start playing
I appreciate it.
With the money. Okay, we found y'all in peace. Gonna leave y'all in prayer. Nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Anabakoa, Gijalakimenka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, Taharananara, Nagibor, Dushe Yakadeka, Kavava Shamran, Barkam Taran, Rakame, Tazika Taker, Tamid Gamlin, Kasim Kadosh, Baru Tufka, Nahel Adateka, Yakid Gehel, Lamchapanez, Okre Katushka Taker, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushma, Tazakatanu, Yodea Talamo, Baruk Shem, Kavomakuto, Alam Vaed. Thank y'all.
You got talent with that Hebrew. I see you.
It's country. It ain't good as yours. So I'm doing the best I can. You say I got to bring something to the table. So bring a little something to the table.
That's what's up.
All right. Peace, everybody. We'll holler at y'all.